Hey, Sassy fam, welcome to your Thursday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you are fabulous. And now we are sporting our second pair of new frames, yeah? I like it. They're a little bit out of my comfort zone in terms of style. I'm not saying I'm against pink, but I'm not saying I'm the biggest pink kind of fan either. And I don't mean the artist, I mean the color, naturally. So I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and push our comfort zone a little bit more. And that's the whole point, to either discover some new style or enhance the one that you already have. And I think we're doing a good job there. In other words, I think I like them. You guys, what can I say? It is absolutely gorgeous. The weather is outside. I would dare say delicious. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a fantastic read, you and I. Okay? And then yours truly is going to pack everything up, and we're going to go find our favorite cafe or coffee haunt, and we're going to hunker down, and we're going to get some fantastic writing done with some delicious coffee. That's what we're going to do. But you and I, what are we doing today? We're going to go ahead and do our adapted Celtic cross. So we'll put down that Celtic cross baseline, get some advice, oracles, and then towards the end some charms as well. So, like always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If there's more than one energy clearly apparent to you on this board today that I personally did not see or call out, then you feel free to reverse those energies as you see fit. These are, after all, general collective reads, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all. Frustrating, I know, but also normal. Check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Anything else? Yes, tomorrow, November 15th, 16th, depending on where you are in the world, it will be the next full moon, and it will be the full moon under the sign of Taurus. Yay! So my Taurian crew, I hope you enjoy that full moon energy. I find that there tends to be one of two energetic reactions for any sort of Taurian influence, be it the full moon or the season. One, time to hunker down, plan things out, get things going. Okay, let's make a plan. Let's do a budget. Let's start building something. Let's start doing this kind of work, this, that, and the other. Let's get it done. Let's nail it down. Let's make it happen. Or the exact opposite. Leave me alone. We have officially entered the chill zone. Don't call me. I'll call you. But that may not happen either. Just letting you know right now, right? That Taurian energy. I love that. I love that. It's always one of those two kind of extreme ends of the spectrum. Myself personally would try to do a combination of those things and go into a cocoon phase, right? Get all cozy, leave me alone, but also I'm busy, productive busy. I'm planning things out, right? That kind of sense of what is actually feasible to finish before the end of the year and what's going to go ahead and get pushed off into that category of New Year goals. It's a little bit of both, I think. Productive as well as, no, just it's quiet time. Leave me alone. You guys, let's see. Anything else? That's it. All right. I will see you at the Sunday check-in, maybe some shorts, and I will see you at your sign. Take care. Be well. Leo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Leo, please. What's going on for Leo? Show me Leo. Okay. Oh, no, the Five of Swords. Okay, what's going on? King of Wands crossing. Wheel of Fortune is crowning. Okay, Page of Swords in the past, exiting a sense of death before you, the Lovers. Strengths, Three of Swords, Knights of Pentacles in your environment. The Empress, hopes and fears, the outcome, Four of Swords. We have some work to do. I don't mean that as a challenge or an insult, so please don't take it as one. We all experience the Five of Swords from time to time. It's inevitable. If you're alive, do you identify as a human being? Do you have a pulse? You're going to experience the Five of Swords. Self-sabotage in life is inevitable. Five of Swords, Seven of Swords. Okay. Like always, it kind of depends on how aware we are of it. We can catch it, start working through it instead of making it worse or deepening it. And you, right there, King of Wands, you're crossing. Part of you is aware that your thoughts are not where you'd like them to be. There's just whispers in your mind of what actually happened, and something happened. Okay. And you're kind of telling yourself, oh, that can't be right, or that wasn't the case, or this is not what happened, this is not what went down, and It's almost like you're saying you're not mad, you're not pissed, you're not angry, but you are. You don't think about it, you don't think about a them, you don't think about a they, but you do. You're not frustrated, you have no worries about it at all. And that there was nothing to learn with the Wheel of Fortune crowning you. It's like looking back on it. No, nothing went down. No, there's nothing to learn from this. And so again, this is how we self-sabotage, especially when enough time has passed with the Wheel of Fortune crowning us, that we have had ample time to look back on this and have different conclusions. We have ample time to look back on this and have different thoughts. We have ample time to look back on this and, let's just say it for what it is, learn our lessons. Okay? And stop telling ourselves it didn't mean anything, because it did. Stop telling ourselves we weren't affected by this, because we know that's not true. Stop telling ourselves that we're not thinking about them, because we are. Okay? Page of Swords is in the past. Like I said, we've tried to really discredit whatever this is that you've experienced. Minimize it. Page of Swords is in the past. That doesn't mean it's like that forever. That just means you've had experience with it, and that means you can continue to do so. And that's the way I'm looking at. You have done. So once more, it's not an insult. So don't take it as one. I want you to overcome these things, not continue to subject yourself to them, because there's so much more in you. There's so much more good in you than this. So the Page of Swords is in the past experience, minimal insight, not wanting to look, not wanting to see. And that's just kind of played into your Five of Swords, downplaying whatever happened here and kind of trying to stick to that motto, stick to that creed, but you're not fully on board with it. You know you're not. Death is in the exit, so exiting position, so that's good. Whatever here that has ended or transformed, we're past the worst of it. Okay? Can't really deny that. So if something here changed, transformed, or frankly is just ended or over, that means all the worst of what happened has. It's just our insistence that there's nothing to learn from it. Now that's false. Okay, that's the part that's not true, and that's the only part I'm really pushing back on you on. That's just not true. There is much to learn from this. There's much to learn from everything. And that's the way human beings only ever really fails, if we choose not to. Okay, people say I failed this, or there's no point to that. No. It's just kind of in that insistence of, if I believe that, it makes it easier, right? It makes my pain easier. Actually, it amplifies your pain. Because if you really believe that there was nothing to learn from this, and that there was no point, then all it actually does is aggravate your sense of self, and it hurts you more. I promise you there was much to be learned from this. So the fact that you're showing me such small-scale energies very much suggests there is more for you to learn, because you insist on keeping it small, making it compact. There's nothing else in here. That means it was probably more like this. There's a lot to learn. The opposite tends to be true. And this is what I tell people. If you have to talk yourself into or out of anything, it's best to stop. Because it's that Five of Swords that's doing the talking, not the truth. I know what you're trying to do, honey. You're trying to protect yourself and your mind and the hurt, and all that does is exacerbate the issue. So whatever happened here is done. Now, I know there's more in you than this. The Lovers is before you in the future. Strong connection. Very. I don't know when. Perhaps I'll see that on advice. I don't know what the conditions are. I just know it's before you. It's a crossing point between what went down, where you are, where you will be, is a strong connection. Boom. You two are still connected. You don't want me to say that. The way I'm looking at you, don't want me to say that. But part of you, if you're being honest with yourself, does. Okay? I know it's unresolved. But because it's such a strong connection, therefore strong lessons are connected to it. So the fact that you're trying to minimize it so much tells me how much it affected you. And the more you allow yourself to understand that, the less you have to lie to yourself. Therefore, the hurt is less. Okay? You stop feeling twisted up and confused about it. So I don't quite know, but it looks like you're due for another point of junction on your timeline between yourself and this person. Okay? So use that time wisely. I don't know what will come of it, Perhaps it will help resolve some of these things. But I want that to begin with you first. What is it you need to see and understand before we connect with this person again? I don't know what the reasons are. It just seems to be coming up. And your strengths as the Three of Swords, well, you're saying you can handle rejection if rejection is an issue. Well, I believe you, and we should all be able to handle rejection in some way. That's what it is to be alive. Inevitably, you're going to be rejected by something. An employer, God forbid, a family member or a friend or a lover. We all need to be able to handle rejection. Otherwise, we don't grow from it. So if this is true, if you can handle rejection, if you can handle the pain, then you turning around and getting a little more confrontational about what you're actually experiencing should be a non-issue for you. So I want you to challenge yourself on that. Okay? Just because we can handle Three of Swords doesn't mean we should keep ourselves open towards it just so we can deny it later. Okay? Knight of Pentacles is in your environment. You pride yourself on doing things on your time. And if you go slow, that's cool. You respect a good plan, right? You like things to be meted out just so. You like things to be able to move at a certain pace. That way you can see them coming a mile off. I understand that. I respect that. But you are someone who does not like to be rushed. You go your own way. I understand. That's cool. The Empress, hopes and fears. We have a strong sense of importance here with the Empress. Empowerment, what does that mean? Am I understanding empowerment correctly? Am I applying it to myself correctly? I want to be someone who is empowered, but I'm afraid I don't know how. Am I personifying someone who is showing empowerment? Am I demonstrating it? Am I thinking like empowerment? Am I also knowing when to be generous and loving and caring too? There's a hope and a fear here. We hope that we are, but we're afraid we're not. Okay, again, I can only see what's here, not what isn't. So the fact that you're showing me the Empress, it all suggests you have these skills available to you. So perhaps be kind and empowered to yourself. Turn around and face the truth of whatever this is. Because there's another opportunity, and I don't always get to see that with a strong connection. So perhaps then the sense of ending, that is exiting, however it is you used to know each other, is over. Most likely a transformative effect. Four Swords is in the outcome. I see you resting. Healing at long last. Some of your more difficult thoughts. And this is quiet. Four Swords is done in our own time. So I know you received enough influence to help you feel better and give you some of the quiet and space you need to think on these things. Let's get some advice, please. Oh, wrong deck. Let's get some advice, please. I'm not saying anything's your fault or putting the blame on you. I'm just saying simply the work that needs to be done. And don't take work as a suggestion, as a negative or a slight to you. That's, again, doesn't work as a human being. We all need work. We're all our own biggest unfinished projects, you know? It's just something about this connection that shaped you and put you into a space of deniability. It did not affect me. It did not hurt me. It did not affect me. It did not, in fact, I can handle pain. But you know what? That wasn't even painful. That wasn't even a blip on my radar. This isn't true. So the fact that you're trying to cover it up that much tells me the opposite is very much the case. Okay? Let's get some advice, please. Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Four of Pentacles. Frankly, we've been kind of holding out for this opportunity. Something here that represents a loving heart space that's full and an emotional creature, but loving. Ace of Wands, the sense of hope, spark, renewal, vitality, vivaciousness, passion. Four of Pentacles. We've held on to this energy because it actually meant quite a bit to us. These things, these qualities. That's why you've held on, but also trying to talk yourself out of it, like I haven't been. Trying to minimize the subject. Do you see why you tried to minimize the subject? Because it actually meant quite a bit to you. Okay? All right. That's why. As far as I can tell, the energy has not changed. Not towards you, anyway. Seven of Swords, the King of Cups. You two have a matching frequency, but we spent a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time. The 5 and 7, we must remember, are not that far apart in terms of swords. So here we have the matching frequencies, but we spent a lot of time denying that. Okay? Again, I'm not pointing fingers. Something happened that allowed this connection to exit. I'm saying what happened, like a post-strategy of how to deal with it, was to in fact not deal with it. Okay? I don't know the finer points of what went down. That's kind of jumping into where you are now and where it looks like we're headed. So again, we want to do the opposite. Okay? The ownership of feelings is what we want to do, not try to get away from them. All right? Again, once more, I'm not saying that's what happened that led up to the break. It's just how you kind of handled it after. All right? And they're just letting you know all this because of that upcoming juncture. Once more, I was hoping to see a little bit more about how that happens. Communication, who knows, a chance run-in. Anything's possible, honey. Anything's possible. The Hierophant, 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. Someone commits to the idea of balancing. Okay? That's it. That's all I know. Someone commits to the idea of balancing, and on paper it looks constructive, healthy, and if I'm being honest, perfectly forward. And balancing it in a way that's constructive and committing to it. It looks healthy. There's a give and take principle here. All right? Someone showing generosity. I'm not sure. But it helps balance the equation, and as far as I can tell, it's returned. Okay? All right. Okay. Trust the universe. First quarter moon in Aquarius. Whatever this upcoming juncture is, trust the universe. It's okay. It's a good thing. First quarter moon in Aquarius. Trust the universe. Trust what you feel. Okay? Not what you've been telling yourself, but trust what you feel. That's the authentic self. That just... Sometimes it's hard. When you're an emotional person and you feel obligated to walk around in this world like you're not. The mind can do funny things there with that. Okay. We have the letter S, T, Y. We have the medallions of Cancer as well as Capricorn. You might have any of those placements in your chart. Could be connecting one. That's not the point. The next crescent moon might be important for some of you. The last crescent moon. Okay. And then we have the wreath in reverse at world's end. For some of you, it's the indication of now, or as we get closer to what we might traditionally call the gift-giving season, anywhere between now and towards the end of the year. It also represents the coming together of a closed cycle, reopening. It's kind of dealer's choice with the world. Opening, closing, somewhere in between. Okay? Also the reopening of old doors. Like I said, with those doors, they're tricky, you know. Just because they were slammed shut does not necessarily mean that they were locked. Sometimes you just go, metaphorically speaking. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Saggy? Show me Sagittarius, please. Show me Saggy. Okay. 9 of Wands. Crossing the Ace of Wands, that is. 6 of Cups is crowning. Okay. Past the Magician. Exiting 6 of Pentacles. Before you, the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. Strengths, the Moon. I'm sure. The Knights of Pentacles is in your environment. Okay, the King of Pentacles, and then the outcome is the Four of Wands. There is some sort of resistance here right away on the opening. You're like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Should I resist this? Should I open up towards it? Should I make it happen? Should I decline it? Because you're showing me a back and forth between the Nine of Wands, which is your initial thought or feeling towards, I should block. You're showing me kind of an impulse that you feel. I don't know that it's impulsive, but you're showing me an initial impulse to block something that might feel good. And then after that, you're like, but I don't know, just because I don't know. Three Cups is underlining for some of you. It's about connectivity. So the Nine of Wands here is just like frustration. I should probably block this, but I kind of don't want to. And it makes you mad. It makes you mad. It's like an Ace of Wands. Like, why are you here? What's this about? What's this about? Is this hope? Should I be hopeful for this? Should I be inspired by this? Should I be passionate about this? Because you're already frustrated straight away with the frustration. And it's like, I should probably block this, but I kind of don't want to. It makes you mad because you're having, excuse me, what we call mixed results or mixed reactions on this. And Six of Cups is crowning you. So I know it's a connection that's important to you, some sort of soul bond. If you don't believe in that, cool. It's you two go back, way back, in terms of emotion shared, memory shared. Okay. And it's with you emotionally, spiritually, energetically. And it's almost like, why are you offering this? I should probably say no. But a part of you doesn't want to say no, because in the past you used to manifest this connection, to put not too fine a point on it. I mean, you used to manifest it. So the Magician in the past position, it doesn't mean that it's over. It just means you've had experience with it and you used to manifest this connection openly. Like it was fair game. Like, yeah, I'm manifesting it. I love this connection. This is a great connection. I love it. So I don't know who that is to you, but you used to welcome them into your life with open arms, metaphorically, in the spiritual sense, emotionally, and physically too. And you're saying, I don't know if I should do that though. But your first instinct is to block, but maybe ... Like I said, you used to manifest it. And if it was successful at all, that means they tried to manifest you back. You can't manifest someone against their will. So if you two are as bonded as I believe you are, it was pretty easy probably to be in each other's company, and you always looked forward to it. Six of Pentacles is exiting. You're saying that old balance doesn't apply anymore, that you haven't practiced that balance with this person in a long time. You stopped manifesting, or you two stopped manifesting each other. But that particular balance you say is old, and you don't recognize it anymore, and that you two haven't connected like that in a while. That Six of Pentacles, it's null and void. It's defunct. It doesn't... No, we haven't done that physically, you're saying, in a long time. I believe you. And now this is put before you as an opportunity to re-engage with it, and you're like, I don't know what to do. You're saying it's not like it used to be. Like, it can't possibly function like it used to. I don't know that I necessarily want it to function like it used to, right? Because we stopped engaging with it for a reason. We stopped manifesting it for a reason. You got in the habit, Nine of Wands is habitual. You got in the habit of blocking this for a reason. And now you're saying, I don't know what to do, because part of you would still like to engage with it. It's not a crime. No, it's not a crime, because you two, you love each other. You care about each other. So however this presents itself gives you an initial jolt to block, but also an opportunity to re-engage with it. And as far as I can tell, the only thing that you said is different is that you just can't bounce with it like you used to. And that's true. The dynamics between you two have changed, but the connection hasn't. Okay? The outward dynamic has changed. Yeah, it's going to be different if you choose to engage with it. There's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. You get to figure out if you want to connect with it, because I see how you would like to. And this time you didn't manifest, right? This time you didn't manifest, so it's showing up of its own free will. In order to connect with it, you have to want to connect with it back. That's it. So it's your choice. So what to do? Two of Pentacles. Well, try not to dwell on it. Part of you's been thinking about it for a while anyway. You know? What would I do if old so-and-so tried to connect with me tomorrow? Oh, I'd just block it. I know I would. And now that the actual application to that theory is here, you're second-guessing yourself. So I kind of see which way you're leaning, but ultimately you get to make the decision. You have to figure it out for you, what's best for you. Obviously, there's a reason you two stopped balancing. We're not going that far back in the past. Perhaps they'll show me an advice, but the moon is in your strength. So it gave me a little chuckle because I'm like, yeah, if you want to keep a secret, you will. So, and also if you want to be silent, you will. If you want to keep it to yourself and not reveal anything of yourself, you will. You know, the moon is a hell of a strength, so use it appropriately. It's a hell of a strength. If you choose to remain silent, it needs to be in your best interest. If you choose to keep your thoughts and feelings to yourself, secrecy, privacy, okay, I respect that. I'm a private person too. Not everybody needs to know everything about your business all day, every day, and frankly, most people wouldn't care. There you go. So if you consider the moon to be your strength, then you have a lot to dwell on in terms of going deeply within and reflecting upon why you would want to connect with this at all. Okay? Why aren't you blocking this like you thought you would forever and always? Why are you even considering it? Why are you going back and forth on it? So by all means, sort that out and sort that out privately. But what you pick is what you pick. What you choose is what you choose. Okay? Now, the Knight of Pentacles in your environment, you are someone who does not like to be rushed in your ways. Don't get me wrong, you might go at a very particularly fast speed, but when it comes to your home environment, you're very careful, you're very particular, you like to plan things, and you like to see things coming a mile off. I understand, right? I'm not slow, but I have that same nature. If I can't plan for it, it's like it's hard to accommodate it if I can't plan it, you know. But yeah, so you're very careful, very studious, and you've just been kind of plodding along your own particular path without too much interference these days, and that's fine too. The King of Pentacles in your hopes and fears. There's that sense of, I want to be responsible, I want to be stable, and if my connecting with this means it's worthy of me, then I need to know that. But if it's not worthy of me, I need to know that too. So you need to rely on who you are. And you're asking, can I rely on myself to make good, responsible decisions that are stable in nature and good for me? The answer is yes. That's already with you. That's why I see you going back and forth on this. This connection is worthy to you in terms of emotionality and spiritual connection. But you're saying you haven't practiced it in the 3D in a while by choice. So how good could it be if you haven't gone back and forth with it? Is it worth your time, energy, and effort then in the real world? The quality of how you experience the connection aside, is it worth your time? So hopes and fears is guarantee of nothing. It is simply a reflection of hopes and fears. You want to make a good choice. You want to make the responsible choice. And you will. Four of Wands is in the outcome. So there is some sort of sense of you two standing up for each other in some way. Some sort of constructive activity. We can call it a relationship, that's fine. And I simplify the Four of Wands as saying the relationship is how two people build into it. And I see two people standing up for this and connecting to it in some way. Okay. And again, that's the outcome I'm seeing. It may not necessarily be your choice. But I do know that you like practical, steadfast, is this a good representation of me movements. So I don't think you'd be connecting to this unless you honestly felt it would be a good and constructive thing. Now, in terms of it's not going to balance like it used to, that's true. So I think I'm seeing two people lean into this idea of how are we going to cooperate or build this with each other, because the old way of doing things is no more. Okay? And after that, I would just say take it from there. Yeah. And it just immediately opened with being irritated. And the reason you know where their irritation's coming from is because, there's that Two of Pentacles again. You always thought you knew what you would do with the Emperor, and now you're like, well, now I'm not sure. And that's where the irritation's coming from, is because there's the theory and then there's the practice. So don't force yourself to decline this if that's not authentically what you want to do. It's just what you assumed you would do. Okay? People change, situations change, circumstances change, that kind of thing. All right? Ace of Cups. the Lovers, and the Six of Cups. That's where I say there are some notes here, very sweet notes that were similar to Leo's, but theirs didn't happen until much later in the reading. They opened up with some self-work that was needed. Again, not an insult, so don't take it as one. My point is if you have Leo in your chart, perhaps check theirs out. Because they had some tones here. They had some tones. And there's distinctly had the Lovers pop out mid-read. I don't know about advice. It's already gone. It's already gone. It's Six of Cups. There's the crowning. Yeah. And the Lovers. So yeah, two deeply soul bonded. And again, I agree with you for the frame of reference. How you used to balance isn't going to apply to anymore. No, of course. You two have changed. Okay. But how deeply you're connected hasn't. That's still here. And the love is quite strong. Okay. So make a decision through love, not necessarily what's practical. Or what you told yourself you would do if you ever saw old so-and-so again. That's what you told yourself at the time, and I'm sure it made sense at the time. And then there's reality of how we're actually going to react to this person or this situation, okay? So it's the Lover, Ace of Cups, Six of Cups, and that's no joke, guys. It's very strong, very strong. No wonder you immediately opened up with irritation, but also wanting to participate. Okay, trust yourself, make a good decision. And if you need to keep your process to yourself, so be it. That's fine too. Okay, like I said, not everybody needs to know what everybody's thinking all the time. Hey. When it's time to share, it's time to share. Okay, but our individual processes are our own. All right, you might be the Sag who chooses not. You might decline this, you know. But so long as you two are connecting for the right reasons, out of love and respect of each other, it's going to be good. It's going to be gravy. All right? Okay. Last quarter moon in Gemini. Clear your mind. Well said. And breathe through the tension. There's that tension. Full moon in Scorpio. So, yeah. Now, it could be an indication of Scorpio season, absolutely, but the full moon in Scorpio won't be in for another 6 months from now. But yeah, last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. Full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension. Okay? Breathe through the tension. There's that initial tension, but once you get past that, you can still feel this. All right? You'll know what to do, is my point. We have the letter B, F. We have the medallion of. I'll tell you what. I got the same darn charms, didn't I? Capricorn and Cancer. Some of you might have some those prominent. Did I? I don't remember, honey. Like I said, it's already passed. Once more, if you have Leos in your chart, check those out. And I promise you I shuffle these many, many times. And this darn thing is full of charms. Oh my goodness, I'll tell you, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, eh? And like I said, some of you might just have some very strong Cancer and or Capricorn in the chart, could be connected to one, okay? That's not really the point. Just in case, it's there for you. The letters B, F, like I said, a best friend. Some of you always thought this person was your best friend at heart. Yeah, I understand. All right, we have the anchor here. We have that sense of stuckness or emotional loyalty, okay? And then we have the owl in the upright. Great wisdom. One of you might be very intelligent, very insightful. Large eyes, that is associated with the owl, taking in a lot of information. You know, the wide eyes. Okay, Saggy honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Aries, please? Show me Aries. What's going on for Aries, please? Okay. 10 of Pentacles, strength. 3 of Swords, crowning. Past, Queen of Wands, exiting. 5 of Pentacles, before you rest. 4 of Swords, strength, victory. 6 of Wands, temperance is in your environment. Good, very good. 5 of Cups and the hopes and fears. Outcome, the moon. Not all is yet known. Right now you're showing me 10 of Pentacles straight away. Those pretty much flew out of my hands. Is that your environment? very important to you. Your sense of community, continuity, foundation, the whole thing is in there. So it's not just your personal sense of career and work, it's everything you're connected to and why. So I'm looking at a very well-connected Aries. You are deeply rooted into your environment. You have put a lot of yourself into it in terms of time, energy, and effort. And you're saying right now you are showing phenomenal strength to keep it going, to maintain it, okay, to keep it up to your own particular standards. And you're saying that's where my focus is right now, because you're feeling a little shaky. You're feeling a little shaky these days. Part of you, realistically, as well as emotionally, has been feeling a little destabilized, okay? And I can see why a kind of chunk withdrew itself from your foundation. We'll talk about that. But I can see where, like right now, you're just trying to stabilize it, make sure it stays that way. Three of Swords is crowning you. Right now, there's an ever-present sense of pain and rejection. And you're doing your best to make sure things don't get out of hand. Okay, so you feel the pressure here. There is a sense of loss. There is a sense of hurt. There is a fear of rejection, particularly a withdrawal as part of your Ten of Pentacles that affects you and it hurts you deeply. And it's at the forefront of your memory, but you're also trying to not let it run away with you either. It's like, I still have work to do. I still have work to do. I need to stay here. I need to stabilize. I need to get this grounded. I cannot allow my upset or my pain or my hurt or my disappointment to affect my everyday reality. So high levels of sense of this is where I need to be right now, okay? And trying to keep yourself in grip and keep what you know to be in grip. In the past, Queen of Wands, you didn't always used to feel this way. Obviously, the past here does not mean it's over. It means if you experienced it once, you can again, and it's still with you. Your natural state of grace energy tends to be much lighter, much softer, welcoming, warm, right? Invigorating, creative, and frankly, just happy. Just warm and happy. And you're saying that's not where you are right now these days. But just take heart, right? If this is who you typically tend to be, that person who is jovial, right? Naturally jovial, naturally optimistic, naturally has a smile on their face, you will be again. All right? That's still with you. That ain't going nowhere. That's a part of who you are too. What's exiting is a sense of breakage. There might have been financial loss. Okay, absolutely. You subtract a 5 from a 10. I could absolutely say that. Perhaps some of you had some unexpected expenditures that were sizable, enough that, again, it feels like you are trying very hard to stabilize your foundation, keep it in working order. Or someone abandoned it. And by that, I mean someone's time, energy, and effort that they would also be spending in that Ten of Pentacles with you in theory. I don't think it was you that left it. I think a big chunk of something withdrew its participation and how your Ten of Pentacles, your sense of foundation, once more instability has withdrawn itself. Somebody might have moved. Somebody might have just completely withdrawn all their efforts that they would normally give to this foundation. I don't know. But you're like, it falls on me to keep it stable, though. I understand. Okay? I understand. And that would absolutely explain why that Three of Swords is at the forefront of your crown while you're trying not to give too much to it either. There is that sense of this hurts, this sucks, and I feel personally like I have been let down and rejected. And that's because that's real. Even if it was planned, okay, even if it was planned, let's say it was in the context just as an example of, this, whatever it is here represents work, and you had an employee who suddenly just like, oh, I'm giving not 2 weeks notice, but 1 day notice. Bye. Let's say that happened to a couple employees, right? And oh boy, did things just get really difficult really fast. Am I right? So that's just an example of a radical. Having a lisp is fun. Sometimes it goes into a space of stutter, and we can start sounding like, what is it, Elmer Fudd? Yeah, wadical. Wadical, wesky, wabbit. It's fun. It's actually, that is incredibly easy for me to say. So going back to it, a radical withdrawal of someone's time, energy, and effort. That's an example. It's in the exit position. It's going, gone. But you're still feeling the effects of it. I understand. Okay, so the good news in the near future. You're going to have some rest soon. You're going to need it. Some time to yourself, some reflection, some space to heal. Okay? We need that. You need that. But you're also showing me, again, you have such a natural buoyancy for the areas I'm looking at. I can see why you typically identify with this more often than not. You do have a natural buoyancy, It's your typical rhythm, your typical stride. Six of Wands is in your strengths. You really take pride in being seen for your accomplishments. It's not an ego thing in this context. It's in the respect of I earned it. You like confirmation and affirmation of what you're doing, and you glow. Okay? You may not be bragging, but you're glowing. You like to be seen for your accomplishments. Like I said, you want credit for keeping this together, and I don't blame you. And you should, because you will. I know you will. Okay? You have the strength, and you're going to earn the right to be seen here. We're talking full kudos, claps on the back, the whole thing. All right? You're going to have earned that. You got this. Temperance is in your environment. Again, really focusing on keeping things together constructively with a sense of learning, reflection, insight, optimism. You're making it look easy. You're making it look very, very easy. Okay? So you're showing me healing, not just for yourself personally, in terms of you get some time to yourself after it seems like the worst of this is past, but also in your own sense of home space, and I'm going to take care of me as well. And that's in that space that you take care of yourself. I think it's one of the things that allows you to naturally charge into a space of optimism and strength and, you know, having kept it, quote unquote, together. Not being strong-willed just to be strong-willed, but because you genuinely believe in the principles of a good outcome. So like I said, naturally optimistic, all right? You have a very healing and soothing presence. Whatever this is, you got it, okay? You got it. Five of Cups is in your hopes and fears. Oh, God, what happened? Yeah, that's going to be normal. That's pretty normal, Five of Cups, all right? Is this a bad thing? Should I be regretting this, or was it a blessing in disguise? I'm actually leaning towards that, actually. Am I going to regret this? This having broken away, having let it go? No, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I just don't think you see it yet. I know you don't, actually, because the moon is in the outcome. It's not secrets here. This is simply the unknown. More often than not, when the moon is in the so-called outcome position, we don't know the outward effects of this yet. It's still fresh. You're still working through it, and there's still a lot you can't see. But because you have taken this on so well, and you really desire a harmonious outcome for yourself and for others, I promise you this is going to be a blessing in disguise. Although you probably don't see it that way yet. But bless you, honey, you're back here hoping for the best and striving for the best and working for the best. Yeah, no, there's outcomes unknown on this one. But you've done so well in taking this head on and doing the best you can with it, even when you didn't feel you had the energy for it. You still will. It's a blessing in disguise, honey. All right? You'll see the effects later. You know, going back once more, just as an example, not an absolute, just an example, because people get lost. Do you mean absolutely it's an example? No, honey, it's an example. Please listen. That's for some folks. Going back to the example of, like, say, one or a couple employees just leaving all of a sudden, well, that's going to make way from some unexpected talent. The right talent at the right time with the right people. You see what I'm saying? Just can't see it yet. All right. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice. Three of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Keeping it going. That's you're dead on bang with this. You are dead on bang with this. There's that Four of Swords again. Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Continue to connect. See, I can see that you're missing a chunk. I can see that you're missing a chunk, but it's not as big as I had initially thought. Okay, so that's the good news. No, the roots are still very much intact. So you focus on what you have here to work with, to work on. Keep bringing it together. Do some of you work in professions where part of your job is for people to connect socially? Good times. And that's part of your job? To celebrate others or to see other people's achievements celebrated, and that's how you feel good about yourself? Okay. Very specific for some of you. You watch others celebrate, and that's part of your sense of victory, is that others get to celebrate well. Seen and recognition, and that's how you feel seen and recognized. Anyway, continue to... Sorry, that was... a profile started to take shape. But yeah, no, that's beautiful. Continue to do this. You'll be fine. You'll be entering your rest period before you know it. All right? Get through. It's that feeling, isn't it, of just, let's just get through the holidays, please, and do the best we can. I understand. I understand, but you're dead on bang with that. You are dead on bang with that. Well done. Two of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Interesting. Not sure what that particular stress element is. It's the first time I'm seeing it. You have someone on your mind. It's a little bit more on the personal side, not what I saw here today in the main read, but take it as it applies. Okay, it may not apply to you. It may. It might. King of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Nine of Swords. You are trying not to show worry around an emotional union. That means something to you. It's precious to you. But you think about it a great deal. And practically speaking, you want to do something about it. A little FYI for some of you. Okay, practically speaking, the King of Pentacles, practically speaking, likes practical solutions. We want to do something to ease our mind about someone whom we care about with that Two of Cups. And we're thinking about that now too as well. I don't know why. That's up to you. That's up to you. We would like to harmonize with this person. We feel sad about this person. It does feel a lot personal, but it could be someone who withdrew their time, energy, and effort, who perhaps you had a personal kind of feeling of kinship with or friendship with. I don't know. But you're saying you worry about this person and that you would like to approach it in some way, but you're not sure how. You would like to harmonize with them again in some way. Okay, just FYI. May or may not be related to this. I didn't see it that way, but again, that's up to you. Take it as it resonates. Let's get some oracles, please. New moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive, and so you are, bless you. Sagittarius season, by the way, is right around the corner. Yeah, so this hits that time frame. Yeah, we'll be in the new moon in Sag before you know it. But yeah, focus on the positive, and that's exactly what you're doing. Oh, bless you. Oh, goodness. You're doing you might have some very strong Sagittarius in your chart. You just pulled double Sag oracles, and then we also have Temperance here. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude. Yes, I know. You are just, man, you really do. Optimism, faith, hope. Working through it, even if it gets difficult. Part of that suggests that you have an affinity for understanding gratitude practices and appreciating what you do have and not to focus on what's lost, but also what there is to be gained. I mean, that really is someone who has a positive mindset, which I find is increasingly rare these days. It's just not easy. It's not easy, and I find difficulty with it. But for you, it seems to be very natural to who you are, so that's wonderful. Okay. All right. We have the letter A, we have the letter R, and then we have the medallion of Sag. How many of you have, you see, maybe double, triple, quad fires? You got a lot of Sag in your chart, possibly. Like a lot. We just pulled the medallion of Sag. But again, also, these could be speaking to the time of Sagittarius, even if you don't identify. Let's say you have 0 Sag in there, okay? We could be talking about Sag season, which once more, I will point out, is right around the corner. Okay, so in other words, you should be feeling some improvement soon, some relief soon. Very good. We have the dragon. Yeah, that's fire. Absolutely. A feeling of dominance, empowerment here. Can do, let's get it done, or a sense of authority for some of you. Absolutely. I would associate that with you. The frog with the coin in its mouth. That's what I'm saying. I feel like we're dealing with much more earthly matters today. I did see a segment that got a little bit specific. Okay. But for the most part, I think we're looking at prosperity here. And not just for you, but for the situation overall. Again, there's more than one person here you're concerned about the well-being of. And then we have the cat upright. Yes, please do listen to your intuition. Aries, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on? Show me. Aquarius, please. What's going on, please, for Aquarius? Okay. 10 of Cups, crossing the Page of Swords, crowning the Ace of Swords. Okay, what's going on? The past, the Ace of Wands, exiting the Queen of Swords before you, the Two of Cups, Strength, Judgment. Okay, good. The Emperor and the environment. Good. I'm glad to see that turnaround. Page of Pentacles, hopes and fears, outcome, Three of Swords. Okay. So, Ten of Cups, straight away, you're showing me that emotional harmony is very important to you. Now, people always want, what does the Ten of Cups mean? It's never just one person. Okay. The emotional harmony principle is the key takeaway here. So when we look out upon the world and we think about those closest to us, those first people that come to mind, that's the Ten of Cups. Okay? So that's why we generally say family. That's why we generally say friends, right? These are the people whom we share emotional value with and we want to be happy with or harmonize with. That's why we have several figures in this card. So it's not just spouses and kids. It's family. It's friends. It's anyone that you would say, when I think about love and support, I think about you. So you're saying straight away that's very important to you. Page of Swords is crossing. There's something here that you are trying to get more insight on. It's not easy. It doesn't always have your full attention. Page of Swords is struggling to open up and learn, particularly with the Eight of Swords is crowning you. So there's something here we're not trying to see. All right? But, you know, we are trying to see it, just not very well. It's not convenient. There's something here that's not convenient for you to see. So it's kind of like I want to turn a blind eye towards it, procrastinate, put it off, act like it's not important, therefore it doesn't get too much of my mental attention. Because the mental attention there is awareness, right? So what is it we're not trying to see? There's something about communication in the past that sticks with you, but you don't want to think about it too deeply. Now, the Eight of Wands is in the past. Does that mean it's over? No. That means it's something of the past value that can affect you to this day, present and possibly in the future. It depends. It depends if we work through it. That means we don't want to carry it into the future, or it's with us because it's important and we don't want to lose sight of it. So it's with us in present day and possibly in the future. So there are some words that were expressed to you or by you from the past, and you don't like thinking about it. You don't like thinking about it because somehow it affects your sense of being at peace with everybody. Queen of Swords is on the exit. It's either you or someone whose kind of firmness of mind or determination or harshness of spirit is on its way out. I believe this is someone whom we've last shared words with that were not pleasant or not easy to contemplate or think of. That their words, perhaps it feels like they were jeopardizing the Ten of Cups. Someone who does not mince words. Strong mind. You would know. It's Queen of Swords energy, yeah? I mean, I could say it's your sense of direction or focus exiting. And given that kind of sense of I don't want to think about it, that would actually make perfect sense. I am saying that as an outside influence, however. But it's up to you. Okay? I believe someone might have used harsh words, thoughts, or insights in the past, and they still affect you to this day, but you try not to think about it too much. Okay, then perhaps then it is actually worthy about. That doesn't mean they're correct, to point that out. That doesn't mean they're correct, but that doesn't mean it's not worthy to think about either. Why did they say that? How does it apply to me, or are they full of shit? You know? I want you to take the time to look at that. You're safe now. They seem to have taken their exit, taken their bow, taken their leave. It won't hurt you to look at those words too closely, because they either apply or they don't, right? Either way, you look like you're safe and you're secure, and that's all that matters. The point is, it sticks with you, even while you try to act like it doesn't. So that's how I know it's worthy of looking at, because it bothers you. One of the best ways to resolve these kind of things is to cut through it, to get on the other side of it, not keep denying it, because the more you deny it, the more it just stays there. It's not going anywhere. So if this person's last words to you made you uncomfortable, something about the family dynamic, the emotional dynamic, those words were disapproving or harsh, Okay, critical. They could be wrong. Absolutely. But the point is, the way you deny it suggests it makes you uncomfortable. All the more reason to look at it. And that might make you feel a little gladder that they are gone or have taken their exit. There's something in there for you, though. 2 of Cups is in your immediate future. All I'm saying is more support for you. Whatever love you've got going on between yourself and others hasn't changed. It's beautiful. This one's a little bit more personal. 2 of Cups, this is a direct emotional union you share with somebody, not the one who exited. Not that I can tell. And I have no idea who that is. But it does come across heavily as opinionated and critical. But the more you try not to think about it, that tells me there's something in there for you to learn. Okay? That's it. That's all I'll say about that. I just see that it affects you. That's why it's worthy of looking at. Because it affected you, it's worthy of looking at. That doesn't mean they're right. That just means it's something for you to think about because it might affect you. Okay? That doesn't mean they're right. That's all. When somebody shows me a sore thumb, but how they're trying to ignore their sore thumb, what's my first piece of advice to people? Stop ignoring your sore thumb. That's it. Okay? That doesn't mean that they're correct. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means something influenced you. So it's worth looking at. That's all. 2 of Cups, So here we have the greater scheme of things, the bigger picture, and something a little bit more intimate. It's there. It's with you. I love that. I love that you have love in your life and that you are supported. It's enough that says that you are a loving, worthy human being. And that's wonderful. Judgment, right? It's in your strength. I hate, I hate to be a stickler. But yeah, there's something in there for you, honey. There is something in there for you. There is a lesson in there. And it's funny because, those are the kind of words that might have taken all of seconds to say to somebody. And it's those seconds of words that stick with you the most. There is a lesson in there. It's waiting for you. I'm telling you, turn around, look at that sore thumb. It will give you some resolve. Okay? It will give you something that you need that will help you. That doesn't mean that they're right. It's what you're learning from it or can take away from it. That's what's correct. There's a lesson in there for you. All right? The Emperor, your environment, yeah. Empowerment. You're someone who can take charge, stand by what you say and do. I love that. That makes me very happy. So empowerment, make it work for you as well. You are worthy of this insight. Page of Pentacles, hopes and fears. What you will discover and what does that mean? Does that mean you have to make an investment? No, it doesn't. It just means you unravel this a little more. That doesn't mean you actually have to do anything with it. But it will give you more insight. That's a little hope and fear. That's perfectly fine. But to you, does it mean, does I have to make an investment? Do I have to change my way of life? Do I have to do things differently? Not if you don't want to. No. You just learn a little bit more about yourself, and perhaps that's all the page you need. And the 3 of Swords is in the outcome. I think that's what you're looking at here is fear of discovery or fear of rejection. If you look at these words too deeply, that you might have to reject yourself in some way. And Aquarius, I don't think it's like that. I really don't. I don't think you need to be afraid of having to reject yourself or parts of yourself. I can see that you are well thought of. I can see that you are well loved. And I see that you are someone who is used to commanding a certain level of authority. So no, this person's words are ultimately not going to take away from who you are. That would be a choice. It is, however, going to give you a better idea of who you are if you choose to learn from these words. That doesn't necessarily weaken your character, just like it doesn't necessarily strengthen it. You don't have to do anything with it. That's also a choice. But it could help you learn more about you. So maybe not so much fear. And how could this hurt me? No. You can learn from it, though. That doesn't, it might be a painful lesson. That's okay. But if it's an honest one, then it's a good one. All right? I don't know what the hell that is. I really don't. But someone left their mark on you. specifically their words and perhaps the harshness of their mind. It might have been honest critique or feedback, but you didn't want to take it too far, too deeply, because if you did, what does that say about you? And does that mean you have to change your whole way of life or operating? No. No. Let's just say you learn a little bit more about yourself. It doesn't need to be all that. Okay? Is that outcome a guarantee? Nope, not at all. It depends on how much of reflection and how much this applies to you or doesn't. Whether or not you're going to do anything with the information if you choose to learn more about it. Okay? And even if that is your outcome, well, this hurts. Learning about this hurts. Okay. So what does that tell you? That it's not going to be that way forever, the next several weeks or months. That's not an outcome for the rest of your life. It's just an outcome if you choose to learn more. That doesn't mean all truths are easy, right? Some of the best truths, though, are the ones that linger. And the moon, Six of Swords, strength. Yeah, learning more about yourself is not an easy thing. Sometimes you have to consciously choose to go in there. It takes strength of will to do it, too. To go into the moon, to learn more about the unknown, no matter how small. But there's something in there that's sticking. Aren't you a little bit curious about where it will lead you? Learn more about yourself? Saying it would take you strength to do it. To willingly enter the unknown. I can tell that you're very much used to the known then. That's interesting. Aquarius likes a little bit of discovery, particularly of the self, even if it's uncomfortable. Nine of Wands, we've been resistant. Queen of Swords, to what they said. Nine of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Hanged Man. We've been resistant to gaining the perspective. Why does this feel like a very harsh critique from someone that happened in moments or seconds, and you have been trying to reject that critique ever since? I want you to take more faith in who you are as someone who is well established, and it does not take away from your sense of empowerment to take on someone else's perspective or points of view. Again, they might be completely wrong or full of shit. The point is, you won't know that until you resolve this in yourself mentally. It feels like a flash in the pan, thought, moment, critique that came your way. And it hit you, but in the wrong way. So you've been trying to push it away ever since, but it doesn't apply to you. It does. There's something in there for you. Okay? Like I said, that's not going to take away from your character if you take time to explore it. It should, if anything, enhance who you are, or your sense of self, or at least bare minimum saying, okay, well, now I know this about me. You know? Gosh. I don't know. I think you have an opportunity here to learn more about yourself through someone else's perspective, even if it happened in seconds or moments, or let's say it was a one-off email or something. I think it's worth looking at. I hope you do too, because you're worth it. First quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurity. Yeah, I don't think it's all that. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think some of you might be in positions where you're just not used to being critiqued or being wrong. Aquarius, honey, what can I tell you? It happens. You're never too old. You're never too old to be critiqued. You're never too old to get a little lesson about yourself from the universe. You know, and it doesn't matter how much authority you have or power. And I love that you are surrounded by love. I do. That makes me so happy. But all the more reason why you should feel secure. In that if you're old enough to know better, to take on, no matter how briefly, someone else's perspective that might lend to your character in future. You're secure enough. Don't worry about it. That Three of Swords, it's going to be temporary. You know? It's that sense of, you remember that one thing that happened, it was 5 years ago, and you never understood why you remembered it, and then one day it all fits about why you remembered it. And then you go, oh. Huh. I did make an offhand comment. Maybe I was kind of being an asshole in that minute. Maybe I did make a wrong call at that time. And then you see it from that perspective. I think that's what we're looking at today. And it's playing up on you now. That means there's something in there for you. First quarter moon in Capricorn. Unleash your kindest self. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. I don't think you're used to being wrong, which means you're probably harsh or critical on yourself anyway. So it's weird when you take on someone else's critique when you already do a lot of it yourself. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me know if I called it. And then also indication for some of you upcoming Capricorn season, where perhaps you might know what that's about. All right, that's enough. It's hard to believe. You know, it's such an interesting snapshot in time when people show me these things. You know, something so minute, something so specific. And I think no one's going to relate to this. Nobody. And then it's very open-ended, very vague. And I'm like, well, at least it's applying to a lot of people. And they hate that. They absolutely hate it. It's like, I want the more specific ones. And the people who get the specific ones like yours are going to be like, does it have to be like that small? Well, for this Aquarius, yeah. I'm simply looking at a snapshot in time. Okay, we have the letter F. We have the big heart, and you feel emotionally loyal, emotionally stable, set in your ways for some of you, or set in your feeling on the subject as well. I understand, but some of you would like to have that moment to get your chakra in alignment. Okay, I would see it as that opportunity, sure. Absolutely. Aquarius, honey, I hope this helps you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Gemini, please. What's going on for Gemini? Okay, Page of Pentacles, crossing the King of Cups. Oh. Crowning, King of Swords, past, Justice, exiting the Tower. Okay. Before you, the Four of Cups, upsetness, Nine of Swords is overthinking. Page of Wands is in the environment. Back up, back up. Five of Wands in the hopes and fears, and the outcome is the Hanged Man. Well, I don't want you doing anything until you know that you're ready to. Page of Pentacles, little guy, should I drop this page? Should I drop this investment? Should I drop this coin? Should I drop something? King of Cups is crossing. It seems like it's a matter of love here. Okay. And the fullness of one's heart. There's a lot of feeling in this. Little guy, Page of Pentacles, little guy. In other words, it means a lot to you. And you're like, that's the problem. I don't know if it should mean all that much. It's such a small gesture, such a small investment that... is it a good thing or is it a bad thing that my heart's caught up in this? So long as it's sincere in you, then that's all that matters. You can put a lot of feeling into such a small gesture, right? And that's where we get that, the old saying, it's the thought that counts, is because it's not really a thought, is it? There's a lot of feeling that can sometimes go into the smallest of things. And you're like, I don't know if I should have this much feeling into such a small page. So I don't know what it is that you're doing in terms of investment. You're putting yourself out there in some way that's real and tangible. But like I said, so long as the feeling is real for you and is sincere, then that's literally what counts. Okay? You don't have to worry about the good and the bad of it, and should my heart feel this exposed, or should I have this much feeling in this small of a gesture? Perhaps it was a page that was given to you. I don't know, but I see you actually extending yourself outwards, okay? Being your reading, your investment. Crowning you, the King of Swords, you want to make a decision on this. And this is something that you would be much more comfortable with in your element here as the King of Swords. You're like, I want to make a rational, logical decision. And I want to be able to stand by it and be determined and be focused. And there's something wrapped up in such a small gesture that it bothers you that so much of your heart's in there too. When your mind is like, Gemini, what the hell's going on with us? It's just a page. Why is my heart wrapped up all in this? And, you know, so look, there's the portion of you that's speaking loudly that you're familiar with the King of Swords, objective oriented, right? Clear focus, facts, information. This is what I do. This is my reasoning skills. This is how I focus. This is how I act. And there's an equally large size of you that you're not as comfortable with. That's like, I feel like I'm about to put my heart on the line, and it scares me. And I know the King of Cups is not too shy with the feeling. It's the enormity of the feeling, being able to embrace it as it is, without changing it or belittling ourselves for having it. We just feel it. So again, is it a sincere gesture? And that's all that matters. Ask yourself that logically, and then you have your answer. Okay? I hope that helped. Justice is in your past. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means it's something you're familiar with. You are familiar with, well, justice principles, balancing things, karma, balancing, weighing up the scales, making things fair. You're familiar with this. That means if you're familiar with it in the past, it will be familiar with you in present day as well. So ask yourself what's fair for you as well. And that should also help. Not just about what you can logically, rationally conclude, but what's fair for you too. Okay, is what you're feeling and thinking about doing, is it fair for you? Again, this should also help answer the question, because if you know how to draw on this, and you do, that means you can use it in present day as well. Okay? Okay, so is it fair to you? Is it good for you? And would it help balance the situation? Something which I will point out kind of already went down. The tower's in the exit position, which is good. So whatever fundamental crashing or lightning moment that occurred is already exiting. We have the after effects. We already know what the aftershocks are like. Okay, so hopefully we've processed that tower. We've learned our lessons from it. And there's a sense of writing things now that you can look at them safely from your own point of view of logic, reasoning, rationality, being fair to the self, being fair to the situation. You can see all that clearly from a bird's eye view. Okay? Beautiful. It's just, it really bothers you that your heart is so wrapped up in that little page, and I don't blame you. Even I want to know what the heck's in there. But you would know. I don't, but you would know. It almost feels like your poor heart's on the line in such a small gesture, and it's hard being vulnerable, even in the smallest of ways sometimes. Even people who are very comfortable walking around like this all day, every day, can put a lot into the smallest of things. And it's not easy, but again, ask yourself, is what you're feeling sincere? And is it a credit to you? Is it a good representation of you and for this situation? Okay? Because whatever happened already has. Before you in the future is the Four of Cups. There's a sense of unhappiness because we still haven't done anything. Okay. Upsetness. We still haven't done it, and I don't see an immediate answer for you either. Okay, so it's not a pressure thing. I don't want you to feel like that. I only want you to do what you understand is correct for you, because you have everything you need right here to tell you and informing you. But we haven't done it yet, and you're kind of upset with yourself for that. With Four of Cups, all right. When we're not able to express ourselves from the heart, and it means a lot to us, we get upset, okay? Because things are collecting and building and collecting and building, and it sucks. It's a sucky feeling, and I can see why you get caught up in your head. Now, for you, of course, am I surprised that you're saying I translate that into a strength? Okay, no, I'm not surprised at all. Nine of Swords for air signs, particularly for you, it can absolutely be a strength, is to overthink things, but you are still just as prone to the shutdown effect as anyone else. Okay? You can still have the same outcome. Your point of view from the strength is overthinking things, is that it gives you an edge, right? You can, well, I saw that outcome coming. I saw that, and I 30% that outcome, 20% this outcome, 10% that outcome, but 70% this outcome. And if that's true, I'm going to play those odds. Okay, that's the Gemini process. But you can still get stuck like anybody else. You just have a higher odd that you won't. But that doesn't mean that you won't shut down. So Nine of Swords in your strengths. Well, bless you. I understand your blessed mental process is what it is, and it can be quite intricate. You're overthinking. You're overthinking to the point of doing nothing. And that's where this unhappiness is coming from, because you still haven't done the thing. So again, a couple points to help you. And this is preventable. Is it coming from the heart? And you can honestly say it's sincere. And does it give you credit in terms of balancing the situation for yourself and possibly with someone else? That's it. I don't know. It doesn't have to be romantic, guys. You don't always have to take it to that space. It's up to you. Okay, I'm just giving you an outline of the sketch as I see it today. Page of Wands is in your environment. You want to be open just a little bit of nerve, a little more nerve to push it through. You're saying you're willing to be open. You're willing to be open. Just need a little nerve. I understand. Life is like that. But I can see, again, one of the things that's holding you back and kind of weighing in to your factors here about probabilities and odds and outcome is that you're scared there'll be a fight. A Five of Wands. Resistance. If not like a literal fight, which I hope it isn't, but like literal resistance, kickback, frustration, battle of wills. I'll be met with arguments if I try. You seem to be factoring that as a possible outcome. The hope piece to that is the resolution of differences. Okay? Sometimes people must fight. You know how hard it is to be one person? Okay. Try translating that into a second person. It's hard being alive. We don't want to hurt ourselves or others, and we don't want to start fights and pick fights and overthink things, but we do. Because, gosh, all that pressure and perception and misconception from one person, never mind two, right? So the fear part, I'm afraid of an argument. I'm afraid that they won't open like I would open. I understand. The fear part makes sense. But the hope is maybe we can resolve differences too. So again, I know. I get on my box, honey, and that's just the way it is. I got to repeat points because people keep failing to hear the initial points. Let's go back over here. This Page of Pentacles, can you honestly say it's coming from a good place in you, from the heart? And would it be a good credit to balance the situation? That's it. And we get, with all due respect to your process, it's not helping you this time. Okay? You have the answer right here. What they will or will not do with it is beyond your control. Thus, I'm asking you, is it a good reflection of you? Because that's all that is within your control. You. So therefore, you have an answer. You cannot control what they will or will not do. That's it. I don't know what situation here we would like to balance in that you would be open towards. You can't guarantee their end of it. No, you can't. You can guarantee nothing save your own actions. And even then, the outcome. All you can do is take ownership of it. It's worth it to me to do this regardless of outcome. Exactly. This is what we need more perspective on. So I'm sorry for those of you who are hoping for a quick answer. I don't have one because the Gemini I'm looking at says I need more time to think and contemplate these things. Okay. And I'm also pushing back on that same Gemini. Sorry, I do what I do. I'm not mocking you. It's not that I'm not taking it seriously. I'm going to go back to this point and this point. You're overthinking one of many possibilities. Your intention's good. Therefore, you have an answer. Okay? All right. So if you come watching tarot looking for absolutes, are you familiar with my work? Like, no. There are no absolutes. You can stack the odds in your favor. Absolutely. And I know I'm looking at Gemini. You appreciate that very much. But no, there are no absolutes. All we can do is the best for ourselves by ourselves. And that we can take pride in. That we can feel settled in, you know? Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice. And if you can't stand by you and your own intentions, that's a bigger issue. Okay? Not about what them or they would do. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. All right. Queen of Cups, Seven of Cups. Be open to the heart space. Again, more of that emotional sincerity. Speak from the heart, act from the heart, be open to it. The Tower. That's what happened. Somebody exposed their heart, and it caused a shift. Somebody here with a great deal of vulnerability and a softness in the old heart space there with the Queen of Cups exposed their heart. They opened it in some way that suggests vulnerability, but it was a little open-ended there, kind of like, this is what I feel and I own it. What do you think? Kind of like that. I can't exactly pinpoint it, but that's when things kind of collapsed. That's already exited. So somebody already exposed their heart space. And it caused a shutdown effect for somebody. You, them, I don't know. But it created a chain reaction, if you will. So we know that part's over. And therefore, we also know how one person feels already, right? Oh. Is this, oh my God. Is this a turn of events, Gemini? They showed you theirs. Now you feel pressure to show yours? Is the shoe on the other foot now? I'm not giving you shit. I'm trying to understand. That was a pretty sharp profile right there. Okay. Five of Wands, there's that fight again. Seven of Wands. We really don't want there to be a fight or an argument. Why? Because you're trying to protect yourself, or because you're afraid that being vulnerable, you don't want to feel like you might be rejected by being vulnerable, kind of like they were. I know. It's hard. It's hard for you to open up. 10 of Wands. Having to deal with all this. Well, you know my thoughts on dealing with, but if this is too much pressure and it does put you in a position of having to feel like you're dealing with it, then perhaps it is best left alone. Because I only want you to speak from your authentic self, which again, your answer's in here. But if you're this concerned with the heaviness and the fallout and a sense of there might be too much fight or non-reciprocation, something like that, then perhaps this is best left alone for now. We need a stronger indication of truth and decision made. Okay. Yeah, it's hard, no pun intended, to put your cards out on the table like that. So only approach this if you honestly feel it's a credit to you and that it comes from the heart. Otherwise, no. If you feel like you can't say that and stand behind it regardless of their so-called reaction, then no. Okay? Because if you can't stand behind it, then you can't stand behind it. The Gemini I'm looking at, you can, but you're so afraid of any kickback or something like that that it's misdirecting you from what you actually feel. Okay? So just FYI, once more, not a challenge. Please don't take it as one. I want what's best for you, not what's worst. So that means you understand that for yourself first. Trust the universe is in reverse. Some of you currently do not trust the universe or the flow of what you're feeling. Yeah, that makes sense. We're so focused on worst case scenario as opposed to your natural instinct, which again has a resolution in it, I believe. I'm not saying it's all you or it's all your responsibility. I'm currently looking at what you're experiencing. Okay? Once more. I'm here to help and try to understand. And if you resonate with this at all, hopefully it did help. We have the letters G and we have the letter L. We also have the medallion of Leo in the reverse, the key word here being generous. Someone here is associated with generosity, or you are, considering this act over here, something as being generous, and they hope they appreciate that. Perhaps that's as well. We have the arrow, possibly arrow of Sag or arrow of Cupid, depending on how you look at it, but also an act of war, which I've seen for you. The fear of it. Okay? The fear. You think it's a very strong probability. But again, if we all based our actions or inactions on what someone else will do, we will never be true to ourselves and we'll never know the truth. Okay? 10 of Pentacles here. We have the Tree of Life. I know. I can see that well connected. Perhaps you two share the same community or the same values regarding stability, longevity, or you two have been in each other's lives for a while. You both, share Oh, that was hard. Share similar roots of community or development, or you've two been in each other's pathways for a long time. I don't know. But a lot of values there. Or, like I said, you both share a very strong community. All right. Gemini, honey, I do hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on? Show me Libra, please. What's going on for Libra? Okay. Now, 5 of Cups. Okay. Crossing 6. Okay, that's all past. I understand. Crowning, Page of Wands. In the past, Ace of Pentacles. Knight of Cups is exiting before you. The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. Strengths, the Sun. I know. That's a good strength, too. Your environment, King of Cups. Very loving you are. 7 of Cups and the hopes and fears. Outcome is the 4 of Cups. Okay. 5 and 6, straight away. Both are cards of the past, as I'm sure many of you know. 5 of Cups, pains of the past. 6 of Cups, the person whom we associate that with in the past. It's all past. Okay? The emotional memory is with you today. It was yesterday, the day before, the week before, the month before. A lot of sadness, a lot of regret over a connection for which you are very fond, and it's still with you. It's still with you in here, in the heart, and it's still with you in spirit. Regardless, it doesn't really matter which way these go back, 5 and 6. It's pretty much the same if they were crossing each other in the reverse. You know, at the 6 of soul bonds, whether or not you believe in that, that's not the point. It's we've known this person. We love this person. We have a lot of regrets over this person too. A lot. A lot of sad memories and a lot of happy ones. They're all in there. You two share a particular wavelength that we call unique. You know, when you think about them, they think about you. One person calls and they say, I was just about to call you. You kind of know what's on each other's minds without actually having to use the words, that kind of thing. So again, unique. Okay, that's that energetic flow. So even if you don't believe in soul bonds, we do share energies. Okay, and there's a lot in there, a lot of pain, a lot of reminiscence. It's as fresh today, like I said, as it was yesterday. It's still with you. Page of Wands is crowning you. You know, you told me you would be open towards it. You would, even if it's in the smallest of ways. You would still show it some energy. You would still show it some interest. You would like to show it something. But you think about that Ace of Pentacles of the past. You're saying here there was simply put an opportunity missed. Okay? I don't know that it was a new beginning that was missed, but the realness of it was missed. And here's the thing about the past position. This fools people. The past doesn't mean that it's over. That just means that you experienced it once, and it can still be with you today. Anything from a lesson learned to a feeling or how we have changed. You're saying in the past, you gave it your best shot or you wanted to give it your best shot. You tried to put your authentic self into this connection in some way. You put something real and tangible on the line in the past. And how you think about it today, how you'd be open to it is much smaller than it used to be, much smaller. You're saying you wouldn't give it an Ace of Pentacles anymore. Maybe not now. You tried that already. But you're saying, maybe emotionally, I wouldn't mind trying to be open towards it. But it is a lot smaller. You don't deny that. Your interest, what you would give it in terms of time, energy, and effort, it's not like it used to be. You recognize that. How much you were willing to give this bare minimum was quite sizable to how you would perceive it today. So that tells me a lot of time has passed. You're saying you wouldn't throw everything in the kitchen sink at this anymore, right? You're not that naive or young or hopeful anymore. You know too much. But you would still be open towards it, remarkably. Now, what's exiting for you is the Knights of Cups. You're saying your heart space, as you understand it, doesn't necessarily flow in their direction easily like it used to. No, there's the consequences of time. Of course not. You know, you wouldn't go offering everything in the kitchen sink towards this connection like you used to, and you wouldn't necessarily connect to it vulnerably anymore, or you necessarily wouldn't be in love with it anymore. But you still have love for it, so this is where we get that difference between having love for someone and being in love with them. You're saying your flow state towards them, for example, being in love, not so much. That's exited. But you still kind of love that person, and that's okay. These deeper bonds tend to have a lasting, lingering love, even if you no longer identify as being in love with them or romantic towards them or vulnerable. You're saying you would still be open towards it, just perhaps in the more present day, knowing who you are now, Libra. Knight of Pentacles is before you in the future. You're moving on a particular course, with or without this person. They're in your mind, they're in your spirit. Yes, we know this, okay? But you yourself, whatever road you're on, you continue to move forward. It's well planned, it's methodical, and it's at your own particular pace. I love that. Okay? Now, I like your strengths a lot because this is something I say all the time. You get to choose to be happy. And people really hate that. People who are not happy hate that. And that's unfortunate. Because when you understand happiness is a choice, especially knowing where you came from, you appreciate your happiness a lot more. You've had sorrow and hardships and regrets and loss. You know, a great quote that I love from the movie Moonstruck with Cher is such a simple sentence. You think you're the only one who's shed a tear? Okay. Now, obviously, her character has a lot of unprocessed pain. But she gets the idea of it. There's more to life than this. We have a responsibility to move on. And we can still be open and search for other things too. And if that's true, if you believe in that, you get to move on. You get to move on with your life and choose to be happy. Then you understand that strength, the sun, happiness is indeed a choice. Despite your regrets here, you may not be in love with it anymore. And you wouldn't throw everything at it anymore. You can honestly say you would still love it. And that you choose to move on, to be happy. King of Cups is naturally who you are. You might have a lot of water in your chart. You're naturally someone who has a big heart, big feelings, and ownership of them. So that's the King and Queen of Cups, ownership of their feelings, no matter what form they take. Ownership, and they feel them deeply. King of Cups tends to be a little quieter. He doesn't go on and on about it. The Queen of Cups tends to be much more fluid with her speech, but for the most part, King of Cups suggests I'm in full ownership of my heart, and I might be a big feeler, but that means you get all the more love from me. So in your environment, you're saying love is a priority for you in your environment and who you are naturally. Okay? Natural love, natural giver of love, natural recipient of love, all that good stuff. So it's a choice to be happy. And we naturally feel what we feel. We're not shy about it. Seven of Cups and your hopes and fears, to open up again or to not open up again. Again, natural, very natural, especially considering where you're coming from. Do you think about this person a lot? Yeah. Do you feel about them? Absolutely. What I like, though, is that you recognize how you feel towards them is differently, much different. And what you would give them is much different now. But for the most part, you're showing me I must move forward, I must move on, because I'm happy and I want to be happy. And I believe in love, and so you do. So your hopes and fears here is perfectly normal. Seven of Cups to be open again. Now, Four of Cups is in your outcome. That's interesting. I think if I were to take a guess here, given what I've seen, I think you're a Libra who is open to exploring new connectivity, and so far you've been disappointed. No one's made you feel the way that old connection did. Okay. So we can't always compare them, right, to the greatest hits. Otherwise, we will never find our next greatest hit. That one was unique and specific to that situation and that time in your life. No one is going to measure up to them. But you also, P.S., you don't want them to, because what if you have the same outcome? Even you admit you're not in love with it anymore. But that you love them or the connection just for who they are. Okay? So let's try not to hold up your new options in love to that comparison, because it's not going to compare. This was a unique connection in your time, in your life. It's not meant to be replicated. And second, again, you wouldn't want it to be because, again, what if the outcome was the same? Then there's no point to being open to new. Okay? When you are ready to have the next big experience, you'll know. So is that outcome forever? No. Outcome is the one that's most subject to change. It depends on the choices you make and how aware you are. And if you want that to be your outcome, then it will be. But if you don't want it to be, then it won't be. And even if you identify with the Four of Cups, well, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing here. I understand. The dating world is a depressing place. But the thing is that you're trying, and I'm glad you're trying. But please don't fall for that. Well, no one holds a candle to that person. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. You got a big heart, and you have a strong sense of happiness as a choice. Make sure that that stays with you. Because you're going to have disappointments, honey. God. Everybody goes to this circus. Okay? Everybody. The developed and the underdeveloped, the quality and the non-quality, they all go to the circus. Everybody goes to the same forms of entertainment. You know, that's the most wild thing, by the way, about going to a concert or some sort of show. That's where you see a lot of financial diversity. People who are very wealthy or have very little all go to the same places for entertainment. So do keep that in mind. Okay? You have a quality heart and a strong sense of happiness. You're a quality person. Someone else hasn't picked up on it, or you haven't felt it towards someone else. Okay. Eventually you will. Remember, the next one, they're looking for you too. All right? But try not to hold up a candle to the past, because that candle's out now. All right? At least as in terms of an option in love. You want to reserve your flame for the next right one. I guess I'm telling you, don't give up. You have so much goodness in you. And next time you have an Ace of Pentacles to give, make sure it's to the right person. King of Wands, the Hermit, and the Four of Wands. Man, okay, good. We've done a lot of good healing here. Okay. A lot of good healing here about relationships. What do they mean? And you're still fired up about it. That's what I'm saying. You still have a positive point of view or disposition about relationships, and you have a much stronger idea now of what healing them means based on experience. You could only get that based on experience. And that was the benefit of this connection. Okay? You still have hope for new beginnings and healthy, well-constructed relationships. So nothing's getting your attention right now. Okay? It won't always be that way. The Sun, the Knight of Swords, the Three of Pentacles. In the meantime, continue to work on your happiness priority principles. You have things to do. You have projects to work on. You have work to work on that requires your immediate upfront attention, and you doing this actually makes you happy. So keep on with that. Whatever that is to you, keep at it. It is a natural source of happiness to you, whatever it is. Okay? You're part of something that's important and significant to you. So until the next great love, you have plenty to keep you going and preoccupied. You have friends. You have work that's demanded of you. These are all good things. Okay? Keep on keeping on. Some of you are on point with that one. New Moon and Cancer. Relax. Relax on that subject of love. Okay? Please. Relax around that subject. And I understand that's going to be very precious and very unique, but it needs to stay in the past. I think you've learned enough from it as you need to, and even you recognize what you would not give that to now. Love or realistic best offers. All right? Oh, we have the Crab of Cancer. We also have that Oracle. Some of you might have some very strong Cancer in your chart. Could be connected to one. We also have the Arrow of Sag or Cupid's arrow, however you want to put it. But I don't see it as an act of war, no. But the idea of striking home. You want to strike home in love. A Seven of Cups is also Cancerian, I believe. Or maybe not. Doesn't really matter. The idea is that you really want to strike it in love. I know, and be open towards it. We have the letter N. We have the big heart. Yes, I've seen for you. Some have some very prominent water in your chart. We have the medallion of Virgo in the reverse, the key word being practical. Yes, I see that for you. In the meantime, I see you taking part of practical sensibility things, you know. Practical things of sensibility. Excuse me. We have the letter N and the Pegasus. Yeah, in the upright, which is great. You have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to fly. Pursue your own dreams, flights of fancy. It's within your wheelhouse of opportunities. Fly, you're free. Move forward. It's beautiful. I love that. Libra, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your Thursday check-in. And once more, enjoy your full moon. Show me Taurus, please. Show me Taurus. What's going on? Show me Taurus. Tower, the Knight of Wands, the Magician crowning, Six of Wands in the past, exiting strength, before you the Fool. Oh, interesting. Strengths, well, Nine of Pentacles, surprising no one. Three of Pentacles in your environment, you're working on stuff, that's cool. Hopes and fears, to balance or not to balance. King of Wands is in the outcome. Yeah, okay. It's good. But that opening is quite eye-catching, isn't it? The Tower, crossing the Knight of Wands. Man, you're burning through some serious energy, my friend. It's almost like an odd discovery, like down to the 11th hour, last minute, kind of intense the way it hits you. And that's an intense feeling coming from the inside out. Okay. It's kind of like saying up until a certain point you believed you didn't have energy for something, and then all of a sudden it comes crashing in about how much energy you actually did have for something. A situation, place, circumstance, person, I don't quite know. That's up to you. But you spent a lot of time being like, nah. No, I ain't got energy for that. I ain't got time for that. Who's got time for that? I ain't got time for that. Do you have time for that? I don't. And also, P.S., I don't have the energy for it. Okay, actually, maybe I have a lot of energy for it. It's interesting. But here's the thing, and it sounds easy when I'm kind of lightly verbalizing it in a fun way, but the way it hits you, it was nothing, and then it was everything. Okay, vacuum versus the opposite of a vacuum. So it's like there's nothing there, and then suddenly it's filled with everything. So where it seems like you had an absence of energy, all of a sudden a whole bunch of energy comes just raging through. And it does feel like that. It feels like an unexpected rave you're having in your body. And you're like, where the hell did all this come from? So you're showing me energy that was like, up until a certain moment, you're like, I don't have energy for this, that, and the other. That. I'd rather stay home and get laundry done. At least that's being productive, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, have all this energy, and like you have a particular rave going on inside your body, and it's party of one. Only one person can access it, and that's you. And that's a good thing too, because the Magician's crowning you. It's almost like saying, look, we're all here assembled at this assembly at the last minute. We got lots of energy. Can we agree on a plan? We got to do something now. And it's you're saying I want, and it's almost like you're saying unexpected want is such a strong desire that seems to have hit you out of nowhere. It just came in from your peripherals, and the next thing you know, it's in your line of sight, and you're like, I want this now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. I want it now, right? Wow. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want, because it's really strong. It's really strong. Wow. Wow, that's really strong, Taurus, honey. So in your past, the Six of Wands, it's energy you're familiar with, but it was always manageable. Like Six of Wands is super manageable. I feel good. Please notice me, see me, some recognition. I deserve some recognition. I feel good about myself and I want other people to see it. And it can be taken to a place of ego, but I don't know that that's where you're coming from. But it's in that general sense of I look good and I feel good. I would love it if I got some attention, if people could see my efforts and give me some recognition. It can be very, very simple. And the past doesn't mean that it's over. It's just you've experienced this before. And you have experienced it before. I can see that. That's why it's in the past position. The point is it seems to be so intensely magnified these days. Okay. It's so sharp. High levels of desire and I want this now. I want it now, dear universe. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's hitting you so darned hard. What's interesting to me is your exiting position here is strength. Call me. I'm gonna take a crack at this. Strength is on your exiting position. I think you're one of those Tauruses that you refrain and you refrain and you refrain and you refrain and you don't think much of it at the time, and you refrain and then one day you don't feel like refraining anymore. And then all that energy you've been pushing aside with strength, I ain't got time for this, strength of will, focus, keep your head down, Taurus, work hard. You create the opposite effect in what looks like a flash moment. And I'm seeing what looks like a very strong flash moment for you, where it's like, I'm tired of being strong and refraining and disciplined and second guessing myself. I want everything and I want it now. It's because your strength is exiting. It's like that. And strength of what? To push everything off. So again, we must remember strength can be used both ways. Like all energies in tarot, all cards, they have an opposite meaning, pros and cons. Okay, blacks and whites, shadows and light. So you're saying, I've always used strength to be like this. No. And now you're like, you're doing the opposite. Okay, you want everything all at once, and it's so sharp, it's so palpable, and it's so much so that I don't want this to scare you. Okay, don't let this scare. Don't let this scare you. Okay, soon you're gonna feel a little tipsy. You're gonna feel a little foolish. You're like, I'm gonna do it. 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 I want you to. Because I don't see anything bad here. It's just for you. It's not that it's anything bad. I think you're in that phase now where it's like, oh, I've been pushing this off, or I've been denying myself, or I've been strong for no reason, and now I want everything. It might feel selfish, it might feel spontaneous, but it's something that I think that you've been denying, and it's not till you know that you want it for some people, and you're in that space right now, and it's just sharp as hell. So I want you to open up. I want you to let some of that out. It doesn't have to be everything all together all at once. You can pace it out. But the point is, I want you to open up. I want you to, oh my God, dare be the fool. Okay? Now, you can either see this as a foolish thing, as in bad, or you can see it as open-hearted, open-spirited. The willingness to open up, take a risk, and do different things, even if it's just for a little while. Be a different Taurus. All right? Even if it's just for a little while, couple days, couple weeks, whatever. Just try saying a little more yeses as opposed to nos. You're familiar with nos. Perhaps try, surprise yourself. Have a couple more yeses. Pull those out your pocket, You might like what you find. So I don't know what you're taking a risk on. I just know that you want it and you want it now. What a burst of energy. Because you're like, typically, Christina, I'm not like that. I believe you. With the Knight of Pentacles and your strength, you're like, look, I'm not that Taurus. I'm not that Taurus. I know. I know. You're never that person who kisses on the first date until you are. You're never that person who has sex on the first date until you are. I'm not that Taurus, Christina. I go like this. I know until you're not, So yeah, open up a little bit. Okay. Have a little risk, have a little chance, do something a little different. You might enjoy yourself, all right? You're like, I'm typically slow and steady. I know. And that works for you. Just not right now. I understand, though. I can't give you too much shit. I'm a planner, too. All right, and Three of Pentacles is in your environment. Things are at a steady pace. They have a natural flow. You're working on stuff with other people. You know, you could be starting something from the ground up, and that would explain your little extra bit of excitement these days. Who knows? The point is that you have cooperation in your environment. Things seem to be going well. You're working on stuff. It's not that you're absent-minded. It's not that you don't have busyness in your life. Of course you do. You ought to know you planned it. Now, what's interesting to me is that a Six of Pentacles in your hopes and fears. Now, that's interesting for you. Typically, a Six of Pentacles for Taurus is a point of confidence. So you're worried here then that something may not work out. You hope it does, but you're worried it might not. Okay, because you're used to cooperation. I can see that. You're used to a friendly sort of cooperation where you do your bit and other people do their bits. And there's something here, you're like, I don't know if that's going to work out. Well, try and find out. King of Wands is in the out. I'm not too worried about it. That's why I'm pushing through it, because I just know you. Six of Pentacles inherently is going to be a strength for you. That's why. So while you might be afraid that it, quote unquote, won't balance, there's a good chance it will. And I also see it in your outcome, so I'm not worried about it, because you're not. The King of Wands is in the outcome. It's like, so you might have some very interesting Leo in your chart, because I really see how that's playing up for you today, and I kind of like it. I dig it. I'm into it. You look like you're a Taurus who just wants to have some fun. You want to live a little bit, but there's one thing you're taking a risk on. You're like, Christina, it could be a little cheeky though. And I'm like, well, be some cheeky, Taurus, honey. It's looking like you afforded it for yourself. Okay, everything else is smooth. Everything else is go. I mean, come on. There you go. Open up. Take a chance. You got it. You got that fire in you. You've got that touch of fire in you. I'm telling you. That sense of ambition, that drive, that passion, right? It's just forward motion, parts of you that really want to do something that's a little different, a little off the grid, a little off the wall. And it speaks more to, I got to live in the moment, man. I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly. That whole thing that I say all the time. You're feeling it. Absolutely. I want you to. Open up. Be the fool. I don't know what it is, and it may not work out, but you already know that. So that means you're kind of prepared for it. So how big of a deal can it be? The point is that it helps you. It feels good to you. And I like it. So I'm going to say, yeah. It's going to be all right. The thing is, you also kind of know that. I think you know that. Any advice here, please? For our adventure-seeking Tauruses today. What's going on? Let's get some advice, please. I like yours. Yours was very refreshing, I must say. People are showing me some hip shit. I mean, I just I like yours. Let's get some advice, please. I have to admit, your opening was a bit of an eyebrow raise, so I'm like, am I even looking at Taurus today? Like, what? You're like, no, you're not. Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, the Chariot. Well, go on then. We'll go the hell on. You don't need to watch the Tarot Lady. You're fine. Go. Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, the Chariot. Go. Go, my darling. Go. Be free. Okay? You're a peacock. Go fly. You know what I mean? I love it. You're opening up. There's something in you. You got to do it. You got to do it, Taurus. Do it. Make it happen. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm right there with you. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that. Literally, everything's in alignment for you. This is gorgeous. Go with the instinct. Make this happen. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, as you know, or you should know, that is your master symbol. So what you put in there, that's up to you. Taurus will put a lot into that pentacle, anything from your feelings to your beliefs to your actions, and then also what you authentically believe. So whatever the hell that is, back it up. All right, we're talking about it. Let's do it. The Chariot, move it forward. Go. All right, you got it. Nice. Hey. Short does not mean bad, honey. No, that means less time in the principal's office. All right? That's all that is. All righty. That's you. New moon in Taurus. Know your worth, baby. Woo. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Taurus. Know your worth, honey. Gorgeous. Now, new moon in Taurus, that would actually be in your season, but of course, it could be a reflection of now. Whilst we are under your full moon, that would actually make perfect sense. For some of you, you might have thought, you might feel better about this 6 months from now. Turns out it's now. That could actually very well be the truth. That could be true. And then also for some of you, just indication, remember your worth. You are worth taking risks on, and what you feel is part of your worth too, and how you feel about yourself, okay? Whatever this is good for you, it's right for you, and that's part of knowing your worth, okay? All right. And full moon in Libra, finding a balance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can tell you're used to being on one side of the Taurian spectrum, conservative, don't do anything wild, don't do anything crazy unless we planned it out. And even then it wouldn't be crazy. It would be well articulated, thought out plan. And then there's the other side of you that just got sick of it. Let's take a risk. So we have to find that balance. It can't just be one or the other all the time. All right. Oh, we have one letter today. That is the letter B, by the way. These may or may not resonate with you. They're just here for enhancement. The camel, right up there. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And then emotional conservation, being very careful with our resources, what they go into and why, obviously. We have the crab in reverse. I suppose really not trying to be too open-ended with our feelings, really narrowing in on a couple of specific feelings that seem to be extra amplified. So it's not like it's without direction, okay? No, it's actually quite specific. And here we have the dragon. I'm telling you, some of you have some very interesting fire on your charts. Leo particularly, maybe some Aries. But that sense of empowerment, I got this, okay? Manifest destiny. I am powerful, I'm a powerful being. And then also because you can, my will, my way, that kind of thing. All right, Taurus, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Virgo? Show me Virgo, please. What's going on for Virgo? All right. Nine of Pentacles. Crossing is the sun. Oh, good. You're on your way to finding your happiness. Crowning you. Three of Pentacles. Okay, good job. The moon is in your past. All right, cool. Exiting Judgment. All right, before you, Six of Wands. Sense of triumph, lessons learned. Good job. I saw someone else where Judgment was passing, but they hadn't yet learned their lesson. You're showing me I've absorbed it pretty well. I think I got it. I like that. Nine of Swords is in your strengths. We'll talk about that. Seven of Swords is in your environment. Not happy with that. We'll get back to that too. Hopes and fears. Seven of Cups. Oh yes, Nine of Cups is in the outcome. You'll be all right, but I want you to trust yourself more, please. By all means. Now, all right, good. So opening Nine of Pentacles, you're like, I did this. This is what I can do. Okay, I'm an independent, proud Virgo. I can stand on my own 2 feet. Everything in this garden is by my will, by my way, because I'm experienced and I believe in myself. Yes, you do. Good job. You do prize your independence, and especially that sense of accomplishment, right, that comes with it. This is what I did. This is where I put this. This is where I got that. This is what I earned. Thank you. And you're learning to take pride in this, the happiness. Specifically, it's kind of like saying, I'm going to take the time to recognize my own accomplishments. For some reason, you've been struggling to do that lately with the sun crossing you. But when you stop and allow yourself to remember how far you have come or developed in this life, particularly in your own sense of personal security, you remember that makes you happy. You can reflect on it. You can honestly say you did it your way, right? Like Frankie. You did it your way, and you have to stop and remember that sometimes. And I know, especially since we can get so lost in the actions of doing and securing and doing and securing, we lose touch with our own sense of competence and self-will, and I did this. So we got to stop and get back in touch with it and understand why we do these things and how it does make us happy. We are fulfilling our own roles in this life, and that is a reward in and of itself. Okay, so remember to stop and take time, that you're supposed to be happy with your endeavors because you have accomplished a lot. And it's still with you. It's not over. The Three of Pentacles is crowning you. I see you putting something together. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be in connection to or cooperation with someone else. It could be friend, coworker, colleague. I have no idea. Three of Pentacles is like a springboard. You start there, see where it goes. If it's something builds, great. If the relationship changes, great. But we start there. That's the idea. Excuse me. So even now, as we speak, I see you putting something together with someone else. And the cooperation, it's there. It's on your mind. You'll be putting work into it, and you'll be happy that it's going somewhere. I don't know where you will see those results exactly. I just know that when you start connecting to it, if you haven't already, you'll be pleased with the results. All right. The moon is in the past. So the past, because it confuses people, Doesn't mean it's over. It just means you've experienced it before. So in the past, there was a sense of Moon not being entirely honest with ourselves about what we're doing and why we're doing it. You're saying you won't do that anymore. Okay? You're going to be a lot more honest with yourself from this point forward about what you're doing and why you do it. Motivation for you seems to be a big factor into building who you are and remembering who you are. Okay? So why you do anything at all and why it's supposed to be making you happy, and you have to remember that. Okay? You know, sometimes we can get so caught up in what we're doing. We start doing things without questioning it, and then it gets really convenient to not question it. You know? But it was part of who you are. So long as you have constructively learned from your moon days, when you might have kept things a secret to yourself, or I'm not really trying to look too hard about why I'm doing this, that, and the other. Yeah. The illusion, the fantasy, the delusion. So long as you can honestly say you've cleared those neck of the woods, you'll be better equipped to not go back there. And then you will also be better capable of understanding about what you're doing and why you're doing it while you are doing it, instead of hindsight or reflection later. Okay? So I'm not really sure about where you're coming from. That's between you and you. The point is that you have a strong grip on who you are today and what you intend to put yourself into in future. Okay? But not taking anything for granted as being a coincidence or incidental, or I don't know how this, that, and the other happened. No, we can see it now. Okay? However mysterious, you can kind of see how it lended to who you are today. And that moon served a purpose. It put you back in touch with your sense of happiness too. Okay? So don't lose sight of who you are. Lessons learned. Yeah? Judgment's on the exit position. That's a good thing. You know, it's not that the lesson's over. It's just that the time to absorb it is passing out or passing through. Okay? Because you're going to need to use those skills soon. That's why. Once we've absorbed the lessons, you know, at some point we come across that juncture about why we had to learn it at all. You know, you can call it a test, you know. Typically people who see tests or as tests, it's a negative thing as opposed to a positive point where we get to reflect on our skills. So the point is that you've learned your lessons well, all right? And you're going to have reason to show it soon. And Six of Wands, you will feel seen and triumphed. Recognition for accomplishments earned. Okay? That doesn't mean you're gloating, right? That doesn't mean you're letting it go over the top or over your head into an ego space. But that simple sense of, I deserve to be seen, and I deserve to be rewarded for my accomplishments, for they are vast. You know? I've learned a lot about myself, and there's no more mystery about where I came from and why I did it. I deserve some recognition, and I'm going to take ownership of it. I'm not going to shy away when someone compliments me. I'm not going to refuse help from others, right? I'm going to be seen. I'm going to allow myself to be seen. I'm not going to do this shy Virgo nonsense. If it's my credit, I'm going to take it. And also recognize others too. Okay? So, I like this. Lessons have been learned, and you have a right to be seen. Okay? Job well done, whatever that is to you. Nine of Swords. Now, you consider that to be a strength, and it can be. All right? And as I believe I saw for Gemini, they have it as a strength too, if I remember correctly. So if you have any Gemini on your chart, perhaps check theirs out. So overthinking can in and of itself be its strength. Yes, because you have a much higher probability of seeing odds, such as there's a good chance this will happen or that will happen or this will happen. And that can be a very powerful skill unless it completely takes over the conversation in your mind, in which case it becomes a weakness. Overthinking to the point of shutting down. Okay? So I understand and I appreciate a good going over in the mind about this, that, and the other, the probability. The thing is, if we get lost to it, then nothing happens because we'll have shut the conversation down. Okay? So I appreciate that as a strength, but don't get so overwhelmed with thoughts that nothing comes from it. Okay? So just be aware of that. Seven of Swords is in your environment. Now that's interesting. I'd like to take a little bit more of a sneaky peek about what's going on in there because there's something you're avoiding at home. Seven of Swords. I don't know how deep it goes. I don't know how far it goes, but there's something in your home environment for which you don't feel comfortable and you don't like being near, so you lean away from it, like so. And that sucks because the home environment should be a sacred space. So I can see that you're quite comfortable when you're in your element that is circumstantial, witnesses, people you work with, even situational. But at home, not so comfortable there. There's something there, like I said, we try to avoid, we don't feel comfortable with. And that's the home environment. We shouldn't feel that way. It's interesting, you're showing me high levels of comfort, and this is my jam, this is my zone. When people can see you, they can see your work. You're getting much more comfortable with leaning in towards recognition and the right to be seen and the right to be visible and the right to be happy with your accomplishments. I love this. It's just not some shadowy person of the past that used to get all this credit and you didn't know why. No, you understand where you're coming from now. And it was you who did these things. But I don't like it to see that you're uncomfortable at home. I'd like to probe that a little further. Seven of Cups in your hopes and fears. To open up or to not open up. Someone else showed me that. That's a tale as old as time. Some of you thinking about love. Options in love, how to express yourself, okay? Possibly at home or in another context altogether. I don't know, it's up to you. But there's that sense of I'm afraid to open up, but I also want to. And it's much more on the personal side, okay, of one's personal emotions. Nine of Cups is in the outcome. In your outcome, I see a sense of wish fulfillment. You seem to be satisfied. So it looks like you did open up in some way and you were met with some measure of success. Whether or not it applies to home or another situation outside home, I don't know. But both of these speak or harken back to the individual experience. Okay? So that's, like I said, that's a tale as old as time. To open up in our feelings, be it in love or vulnerability or to someone we already know, it doesn't matter. If it's hard to open up in feelings, it's hard to open up in feelings. The point is that we seem to be satisfied with ourselves in the end. Okay? So, whatever it is, it was correct. I would like to know more about this. And why did you find it so hard to take credit in the past? Like it was, like, I don't know. I don't know why I was successful. I don't know why I did it. I don't know. I would like to see a bit more. Let's get some advice, please. The Hanged Man, King of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. You're saying you need more perspective about how you feel in someone else in your home space, the environment, before you have a clear and direct dialogue with them. I don't know what it is we've been avoiding, but you're saying you need more time to think it through. Okay, so it's not full-time avoidance then. It's temporary avoidance. In other words, you're saying, I don't know what to say to this person until I know what I'm saying. So it's not forever avoidance. You actually have a critical concept between yourself and someone else, but you're saying you need to think it through and have confidence behind it before you present it. Okay, so it's a topic we've been avoiding at home in some way. Okay, there's a sense of accomplishment, Nine of Cups. Again, a strong sense of you had to heal this idea that you were worth it. Okay, all right, let's keep on keeping on. You want a very carefully articulated conversation between you and someone. But you're saying your thoughts aren't ready. Okay. Anything else in here, please? Devil, Five of Cups, and the King of Cups. Your heart space aches for someone of the past. King of Cups, Five of Cups, the Devil, and it hurts very badly. It's funny. I wouldn't know that to look at you on your baseline, but also fair enough. I'm not clarifying. The Devil, Five of Cups, and the King of Cups. There's a lot of regret around a very strong heart space. And yet, despite that regret, is love. No, the devil here is tied to a negative feeling, so it's been repeating. It's a repeating negative feeling of the past, something that was not put to bed well. Okay. It's painful. It's painful regret. Very painful regret. And it's felt with someone's whole heart. Very strong sensitivity around this one. But also a very full heart space too. Yeah, there it is. We don't want our words to be shocking. Again, more of that careful sense of consideration before I speak. Okay. Page of Swords, the Tower, the Ace of Wands. There is this idea of we're afraid of our influence if our words are not correct. Okay. Again, it's not that we don't intend to ever address whatever this issue is. We intend to. We just want to make sure our words are correct. There is a lot of strong remorse or regret around someone's feelings of love. And we feel we need... it's kind of like if I say this, it might be very shocking, or I'm afraid I won't be understood. So here is the careful consideration. When we speak, we want to speak with confidence about a very sensitive issue. Okay? I hope that helped. But if it helps you, like I said, I see that Nine of Cups in the outcome. All right? It looks like we are pleased. It does look like we are pleased. And I like how you're taking more ownership of your own accomplishments. Good. Very good. All right. Yes, pumpkin. She had a nice little nap, and now she had a nice little shake. Okay, first quarter moon in Taurus. Release control. Okay. Release control. Coming up now. Yeah, we've already had the first quarter. Well, yeah, we're right around that time. First quarter moon in Taurus. Releasing control. Okay. You know, we only have so much within our control. I think you know that. And in this conversation, we cannot control how it will be received. I know that's a concern for some of you. So you're going to have to relinquish that sense of control. You know, I really want to know what the outcome is or what the response will be. We won't know until it happens. So you can take that particular fear off the table. That shouldn't change the shape, the depth, the meaning, or the significance of your own words. Okay? That's the only thing you really can't control. Not how carefully you stack the deck, quote unquote, in the conversation, or use keywords or key phrases. No. Okay? All you can do is really account for your side of the situation. And I know that this topic is important to you and to whoever it is you intend to receive it. So just do the best you can. All right? That's all any of us can do. We have the medallion of Aries, Aquarius, and Scorpio. You might have any of these signs powerfully in your chart. Could be connecting to either of those. There's that lightning bolt. There's that tower idea again. My words could XYZ, destroy the situation or make it worse, but that's not your intent, right? All right, I know. The chakra, we want to get this in alignment. You want to get yourself in alignment. I understand. And there's that crescent moon or quarter moon energy right there again by the next crescent moon for some of you. Okay, Virgo honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Capricorn, please? Oh, hold on. I'm getting to it. What's going on for Capricorn, please? Show me Capricorn. Your cards are all but jumping out my hands. What's going on? Show me Capricorn, please. Page of Wands, crossing, the Queen of Swords. Okay, Four of Swords is crowning. Past, Nine of Pentacles, exiting Page of Cups. Before you, the Eight of Pentacles. Strengths, the Moon. I'm sure that always gives me a chuckle when people show me that, the Moon in strengths, yeah. And the stars in your environment, beautiful. Five of Wands, hopes and fears, and the outcome is the World. Something is wrapping up so that you can open something else, if that's what you wanted to know, if that's what you were so anxious about. And you are a little bit anxious, although you're doing your darndest not to show it. So Page of Wands is right there at the opening. Just a little guy. It's just like, don't mind me. I'm just a little bit curious. I'm just a little bit interested. I'm a little bit excited. Just don't worry about it. And the Queen of Swords, it's kind of like you're saying, okay, let's maybe ditch the focus and just allow ourselves to be open. Because you're used to being very articulate, very planned, very methodical, very careful. And you're saying, I'm just trying to remain more open as opposed to narrowing in. So it's almost like, a lot of people try to get focus. You're showing me that you're trying to relinquish focus, not focus so hard. You want to be more open to an organic process here, and it's important to you because it's tying back to star and to goals and things like this. So you're showing me I'm going to be flexible in this one. I'm going to be loose. I'm not going to try to nail things down or outline things so hard. I'm going to resist that. I'm going to resist it. I'm going to resist it. I'm going to resist it. You're saying you want to go with the flow more. Okay, be a little more open as opposed to declarative. Things strictly outlined and defined, which is the Capricorn I'm looking at. That's what you're used to. You're saying I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna loosen up. I'm just gonna see where this takes me. I'm just gonna see where this takes me. I'm just gonna see where this takes. So you're telling yourself that quite a bit. The Four of Swords is crowning you. So you've already decided this. This is between you and you. You've already had this conversation with yourself about what you were gonna do, and you feel good about it. You do. It's just hard to trust the instinct to just be a little more open as opposed to closed-minded, focused. This is how I've decided it. Therefore, this is how it's going to be. You said you weren't going to do that this time. So this is super important to you. Like, I just want to see where this goes. I'm not trying to define it yet. I already told myself. I rested on the subject. I relaxed around it. I gave myself some reflection on the subject. This is what I said I was going to do. My plan was to not have a plan. I'm sticking to that not plan, if you will. Does that make sense? You're determined not to have a plan, and that's your plan. And that's hard for you. And that's hard. And I'm chuckling because it's good things, but for some reason you're seeing this as a challenge, and I think I understand why, because you're saying, hey, I'm pretty smart, can-do cookie. I'm used to accomplishing things. I'm used to working hard for what I have. I'm used to being accomplished. I'm used to providing my own sense of security. And that usually comes with planning and strength of mind and strength of will and fortitude and all this other stuff. So it's hard for you to not have a plan here. It's very hard. Even though you told yourself you wouldn't. Okay. You were just going to be more relaxed. You've already healed yourself around this subject. That's as much thinking as you were going to give this project. And it's coming from a wealth of experience. So let me just to clarify this for people, okay? Just because it's in the past position doesn't mean it's over. No. If you experienced it once, you can experience it again. So that's a thought, a feeling, an action, or belief. And this is experience that carries over into your current timeline. You know exactly where you came from. You know exactly how hard you have worked. You know exactly the name you have made for yourself. You know exactly how to stand on your own 2 feet as an individual. You're saying that's a lot of experience. And it's hard for me to not draw maps, okay, and write an outline and have things planned out, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And, and I grant you, so that experience is, but here's the thing, with that level of experience that you're showing me, it also tells me you have the confidence to be a little bit more open-ended, okay? Trust your skills and experience. Not your old outlines and maps. Those worked for other things and other jobs and other careers in your life. Not with this. You're saying this one, you just want to be open to the experience, see how it goes. And I don't know what it is. It seems super small to me, but it's a big deal to you. So you might be tweaking things and you told yourself you're going to be more open. That's it. Exiting, not a big deal. Page of Cups, that is barely pinging my radar and it's barely pinging yours. So, I don't know. I don't know, a sense in the smallest of ways of being vulnerable, being a little sensitive around the subject. You're saying that's like a non-issue for you. It's not even on your radar. Don't get too emotionally invested. You already had that conversation with yourself as well. You're more interested in results. So again, this is coming across heavily as career goals and what's in your field of vision that's important to you. Without being narrowed down, or without being too narrowed down, but also not being too overly emotionally invested, which I think is very wise of you, actually. Given your point of view, your perspective, and your past experience, I think that makes perfect sense. 8 of Pentacles. Well, I hope you're ready to get busy, because whatever this little idea of yours is you're going to take to it pretty quickly. Okay? Eventually, your reflexes to make something out of this, to shape it up, to shore it up, to make money from it, however you want to do it, that's eventually going to kick in like muscle memory. So, for someone who's trying to be so open to this little adjustment, you start hammering it out real quick. So in other words, I'm not worried about you. Once more, thank you for being incredibly efficient in your sign. Thank you. Like I was telling, I think it was Taurus, shorter reads just means less time in the principal's office. So that's good. Okay, that's a good thing. The moon, in your strengths, I agree with that. And I'm not saying you have to be secretive as a strength. I'm just saying your business is your business. And people tend to be more successful when they know how to keep what they're doing to themselves. Okay. And like I said, this is something that's important to you. You're not necessarily telling it to other people. Perhaps that's on purpose. But if you're anything like me, you know what I'm saying? When you set a goal for yourself, you keep it to yourself first and see if you can generate some activity. And then maybe you might get comfortable sharing it with others. But until then, that's your business. Don't worry about it. I kind of wish people showed me the moon a little more in their strengths. Honestly, I think people would get more done in their life if they stopped talking so much, because I don't know. Maybe that's just the effect in my cynicism in regards to social media, because I'm in social media. And it seems to me the more you give away, the less people do. You're just giving it all away. You're not concentrating your energies on goals and having outcomes. And no, it starts to water down and become something else. I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking out loud. You let me know if that resonates with you. But when people show me the moon and their strengths, no, it's not. It gives me a lot of chuckle, because first of all, can you keep a secret? Yeah, that's not what I mean, though. And here in this respect of, I'm willing to explore the unknown, but that also means I should probably be quiet because I don't know what it is. See, that's a strength. The star is in your environment. Hell yeah, you're making it happen, babe. This is important to you. No matter how small it is, and you said, I'm not going to get emotionally invested in it, and I'm not going to take it too seriously. I'm just not. I think you are someone who is acquainted with the idea of the star. Okay? Having a long-term goal, desire, hope, dream, wish, and it's long-term because the star is further out. It takes a lot more to reach for it. It's a point of navigation. In other words, not easily achieved. So you're someone who is familiar with the star path. Okay? If it means something to you, you have to work towards it. It won't just be handed to you. People try to minimize the star, so we come up with these phrases like wish upon a star. Well, you got to do a little bit more than wish. And if it's important to you, you already kind of have this disposition, then it will be in your environment. You'll make it part of your life. So it's a bit more than a wish. You activate it. So you're on that way. Hopes and fears. For reasons you would know best, you anticipate kickback or frustration. I don't really see that as you coming from you. Like, I think I'm going to get in my own way. I don't get that vibe. That would have been my first thought, but it doesn't fit the profile that I'm seeing here today. The 5 of Wands and your hopes and fears, I don't think you are worried about you getting in your own way. You already kind of have some checks and balances built in about how you're perceiving this, and I've already seen you check yourself a couple of times. I think you are, for some reason, afraid of external kickback, argument, disagreement, people bitching. I don't know. But in a weird way, You kind of hope for it because it'll give you a chance to exercise the skills, I think. Other than that, I'm not too worried about it because you're not. You think it's part of the process, and maybe you're right. You know, it's like even if I get some kickback on this, that means I'm getting somewhere. So, right? Any sort of feedback is good feedback. Kind of like that, you know? So you want the right amount, I suppose, is my point. Okay. All right. The world, you know, as doors close, others open. You're clearly in the business right now of opening, which tells me you've already had the business behind you of closing. Okay. So the world is very much dependent in this respect in the outcome of everything that has preceded it. I could have said, well, as soon as you start this up, you're going to shut it down. That makes no sense. You're showing me I'm in the business of opening this up, and I'm putting a lot of myself into it, even while I'm pretending that I'm not. That's not too much of a pretend. It's not like 5 or 7 of Swords pretend. It's kind of like let me put it this way. I'm not trying to expect too much from it. And then you immediately expect a lot from it. But that's because you're seeing results. So, and who knows, honey? It could be that world in the outcome as it is. It could be that while you're trying to open this door, something else just kind of logically concludes simultaneously. And you already saw that or you already anticipated it. It could be 1,000 things. The thing is it seems to be anticipated on your end. It could be that what you're trying to introduce is meant to replace something else, and therefore that world is seamless. Okay? Makes sense? Sometimes a lot of people think of it as the door shutting, and it'll take another 6 months for another door to open. Sometimes it is continuous, you know? You might be building this to replace an old function, in which case it would be a seamless world. That's actually what I'm leaning towards, given your efficiency here today. Right? Okay. Let's get some advice, please. I don't think you need it, but okay. Okay. Let's get some advice, please, for Capricorn. Let's get back up. Knight of Pentacles. The Empress. Some of you are coming from very comfortable spaces of empowerment, and you're an old hand at this. Okay. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, the Two of Pentacles. Oh, you've been what to do with this for a while, eh? You decided to give whatever this is more of your attention recently. And was it best approach for a long-standing idea? Okay. You were looking at something that you can consolidate in terms of, again, realistic effort, once more coming across as work and or responsibility, something that's important to you. You were wondering how to consolidate something or make it more efficient. You recently decided upon a course of action that says, okay, I'm going to try this and see how it goes. You are very pleased with the results. I think you're getting what you want. So that would explain the seamless energy right there towards the outcome. So you are indeed becoming more efficient or finding a way to streamline your processes. And you're giving up the old way and introducing a new methodology. And you decided to not put too many restrictions on it because you wanted to see where it would go. Okay, very good. See, that wasn't so hard. Good job, Capricorn. Good job. I know, especially when you're set in your ways and you're like, this could make my life easier, but then I'd have to change some things and it's just not convenient. I know. But you decided to do it. It seems to be part of your overall sense of, this is good for me, my work, and my career. Very good. I think you're okay. Yeah, it is going to be more... Yeah, it's going to be more efficient for you, honey. You got it. You're fine. Yes, it will be a lot more efficient for you. It was just finding the time to implement it. Am I right? Okay. And then having to remind yourself to keep open towards it. Don't shut it down right away if you don't see results. Okay. Very good. Zagucha. Okay. Trust the universe. First quarter moon in Aquarius. Very good. All right. Yeah, and trust the universe. Trust you, too. You know, you're part of the universe. All right. We have the letter R, S, G, we have the medallion of Virgo in the reverse, the keyword here being practical. I know we're talking about practical concepts today. Here's the world once more in that seamless transition that you've shown me. And then we have the Pegasus in reverse and upside down. Perhaps you didn't think this would take off. Okay. But you do have the freedom to choose here. I think the only fault, it was a fault, but you didn't know if it would take off, and clearly it's gonna. So try not to peg it down, right? Allowing it to see where it would go or where it would flow. Very good. All right, Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's up? What's going on? Let's see, Scorpio, please. Let's see, Scorpio. Happy birthday once more, of course. What's going on? I told myself by my next birthday I'd be doing better with my arm training exercises. So full self-disclosure, I'm not an arm person. No. Cardio junkie? Absolutely. Core train? Oh, yeah. Legs? No problem. Oh, yes. Muscular, my legs are. It's almost disturbingly so. Arms, though? I'm not an arms person. I'm really not an arm. I hate arm day. I hate it. But I think I've gotten a little better. Yeah, a little better. Not by a lot, but some gains are better than no gains, bro. That's Gym 101 right there. Nine of Cups. Good. Yay. Six of Pentacles is crossing. Okay. Crowning you Queen of Wands. All right, cool. Very good. Get 9 up. It's not OCD, it's standards. In the past, Ace of Wands. Okay. Exiting, 3 of Wands. Oh, that's a happy day. Oh, that's a happy day for Scorpio. Yay. Before your 9 of Pentacles, you're like, I know. No, good for you. Good for you. It's actually not even cheek today. I'm really happy that you feel happy about you and you're just happy. And we'll take that. Okay. We'll get back to all that. Hanged Man is in your strengths. Really? I love that. That's wonderful. Your environment. You're like, but it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Okay. I got you. 3 of Swords in the hopes and fears. And then the outcome, the Chariot moving forward. That's what I'm saying. You know, ain't nothing going to slow you down. Oh, no. Oh, no. You got to keep it moving. Ain't nothing going to break your stride. Remember that one? I know I do. All right. 9 of Cups is in your opening. Generally, your sense of wish fulfillment. You're like, yeah. I've been fulfilling my own wishes these days. And what is that? Mostly it's an overall sense of I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to be good. And that's it. These are all normal, natural, healthy goals. And strong sense of independence. You pulled the positive 9s plus the Queen of Wands is crowning. So like I said, you want to feel good about you, and that's based on real experience and then also being the driver behind your own sense of wish fulfillment. So 9 of Cups, like always, wish fulfillment, yes, it's beautiful so long as what you wish for yourself is good. Then it will be indeed good wish fulfillment, or what we would call healthy wish fulfillment, and that's all you're concerned about these days, kind of like my goals. It's like healthy wish fulfillment, right? You want more for yourself. And you're showing me 6 of Pentacles, that you try to be present in everything that's important to you, your day-to-day activities. And you're saying some of the 6 of Pentacles suits you, others are not where you want it to be, but that you're working on it. So you're not showing me disappointment around the subject. You're kind of saying, I can feel good about my balances, and I get to say what I balance with. I get to say what stays and goes. I get to say what my terms and conditions are for these balances. I don't have to participate. I choose to. So you find a lot of good in the work that you do, and not everything is to your liking, but you're also saying you still take good from it and that you wouldn't have it any other way. You're saying it doesn't, well, frankly, it's not always easy, as you made it very clear to me, but you're also saying you're not here for any reason other than the fact that you want to be. So again, once more, strong sense of independence. I know what my roles are. I get a lot from them. They're not always easy, but they suit me. Okay? And I love that. You're doing everything that you want to do, and nothing more, nothing less. Queen of Wands is crowning you. You got some great energy here. You know, you're shiny, you're glowy, you're happy, right? Passionate. You have a vision, you have ambition attached to you. And frankly, you know, some of you with the Pentacle being here with some wand energy surrounding it, some of you might have been focusing on your physical appearance, but more to the point, you feeling good and secure with yourself and what you're achieving. Well, that's Cinnamon. She made a loud entrance. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, she's looking at me. Are you talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you, silly. You want to come say hi to Scorpio? Hmm? Want to say hi? Oh, thank you, Pumpkin. Oh, thank you. You come say hi to Scorpio. Who's my good girl? Yes, you are. Who's my good girl? She was like, I don't know. And then she came over. Oh, who's my good girl? I know why. She wants a ginger biscuit. She loves ginger biscuits. Loves ginger biscuits. Oh, my goodness. Oh, who's my good girl? You say hi to Scorpio. You say happy birthday, Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Yes. Who's my good girl? Okay, so getting back to it. Like I said, you're in the business of looking good, feeling good, and happy and content with yourself. I love this. Now, in the past is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the past means it's not that it's over. It's just that you've experienced it before. You know what it's like to have an Ace of Wands. You know what it's like to be ignited, turned on, have a vision, hope, path. Some of you have some natural fire in your chart, which suits you very well. And it's affecting you to this day. So perhaps not too long ago, I don't know when, you felt that sense of new beginning, that new hope, that sense of just happiness, fulfillment, all that good stuff, passion maybe. I don't know. I don't care. But it's with you today. And that's the whole point of the past position. You've experienced it once, and you might still be. And as far as I can tell, you still are, as it crowns you. And it's not too far behind you either. So you are currently living and glowing in this beautiful, beautiful rocket fuel that you have. I love it. Exiting. Ah, I love that. I wish more people showed me that. Yeah, 3 of Wands is in the exit. I ain't waiting on shit. No more waiting. Waiting can kiss my ass. Yes, I love it. That inspires me. No more waiting for Scorpio. I do my own fucking thing. No, but I'm saying that because yours is really highly independent today, and your energy is just so light, and I'm me, and I gotta be me, and I love that you are being you. It just makes me happy. And you're like, I'll never wait on anything ever again if I can't make it happen. Because look, this is you being directly involved. It's like, if I can't make it happen directly, I'm not waiting for it. I'm out. No more waiting. It's here. Live life now. Live life in the present. Inspiration is wherever you look, is wherever you make of it, however you plant yourself, however you gain experience and it makes you happy and it's natural to you. You're doing your own thing. That's being alive. No more waiting, right? Ever again. I gotta be me. I gotta do me. All that good stuff. 9 of Pentacles is before in the future. Go on then. Go on then. You just keep being you. It's gorgeous. You're glowing. You're experienced. You're competent as hell. Like, it's great. I love this. You look great. You look inspiring, honey. You look inspiring. You look creative. You look self-satisfied, self-fulfilled, experienced. You're a smart cookie. You get work done, and it shows. You look secure as hell, stable as hell. You're like, thank you. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time creating that garden, And now I can afford to luxuriate in it. Yes. So even though those balances sometimes are tricky or a pain in the ass, you're also saying you wouldn't have them any other way. Okay, you might have multiple roles, multiple balance systems, this kind of thing. If you're used to it and you like it and it works for you, then it works for you. The Hanged Man, now that made me smile a little bit, because the Hanged Man and your strengths, you're like, I know when to take time out. It's not the same as waiting. I agree. The Hanged Man serves a purpose, and waiting can often just be waiting. That doesn't necessarily mean it's serving a purpose. Okay? The Hanged Man says, I know when to take a time out, okay, and gain perspective. I can be chill. I can enjoy the moment. Okay. It's not just the earth signs who can do it. I can do it too. No, I like this. You're saying one of your strengths is when to back off and gain perspective of things at your own time and at your own leisure, and that you're willing to learn and see things from a different point of view. Okay? That's a great strength. That's a beautiful strength. I love that. 10 of Wands in your environment. You're saying things are a bit tricky right now, which is why that 6 of Pentacles, I believe, is crossing you. The balances and things you're used to, sometimes they get tricky, difficult, or there's just extra work at this time, and you're having to navigate it all. I understand. But as I often say with the 10 of Wands, more so when it's associated with responsibilities like this, it needs to be the 10 of Wands of your choosing. You can absolutely love your job, But there's going to be a 10% of it that's going to be a right pain in the ass sometimes. And for some of you, you're just showing me amplification of work, but that you wouldn't have it any other way. You have a lot of responsibility attached to you, and you got to keep it all in line. Okay? But you're saying, again, it's of your choice. Three of Swords is in your hopes and fears. You got some heart pain in there. I don't quite know where it's coming from. Up until this point, you've been showing me a happy and relaxed Scorpio who's very vibrant and very involved in their own life. No waiting principles, no hanging back, unless it's to gain perspective. So there's something in here that represents a hope category. That perhaps to hope to finish up or tidy up the last of what looks like pain, old pain maybe. Okay. Fear that it's lingering too long. I'm not sure. Okay. Typically we would associate this with fear of rejection or having been rejected, and it still hurts. For some of you, you wonder if it doesn't linger a little too long and will it ever be done? I think that's a matter of time. Okay. I don't quite know where the Three of Swords is coming from. But in light of who you are and how well you're doing, it has its time, the Three of Swords, and eventually that time will be done. Think of it that way. It serves a purpose. Just don't get lost to it. Okay? Hopes and fears guarantees nothing. It's just a reflection of who we are as people on the inside. That's all. The Chariot's in your outcome. You will continue to proceed forward. Yay! So, I'm all for it, honey. All for moving forward. Yes, yes. No more hanging back. Taking risks. Knowing when to shut things down or open things up. All that good stuff. Move her forward. Some of you, it might be towards love. Some of you, it will be in the continuation of what you already have going on. Full steam ahead. Either way, just moving forward. With full conviction, too. Where are we? Oh, very good. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice for Scorpio. Ten of Swords, Four of Cups, the Lovers. There it is. Like a heat-sinking missile. It found its target very, very quickly. Okay, I got it. A strong connection here for which you are deeply tied to a lover-type situation. Okay. So that was not on your baseline. Okay. Beautifully independent, high-functioning, high-quality, loving, joyous Scorpio that you are. Okay. Lots of fire in there, too. But that touch of pain was coming from somewhere. You hope one day you'll stop feeling it. You fear maybe one day you won't, because it looks like it's been, even though it's far away from you now, that ending, it ended with a great deal of disappointment. It really does feel like it left you hanging, or you had to painfully cut from someone you were deeply attached to, or you felt that you were deeply attached to. Unfortunately, that's where the disappointment is stemming from. Four of Cups is that you weren't on the same page with this person. Perhaps you felt deeply connected to them and they did not feel the same. I don't know. I'm just saying it hurts twisted in your heart like a knife. How could something feel so strong and not measure up to the feeling at all in reality? It does happen. And I was wondering where that was coming from. You know, it looks like you've had some shadows back there in your heart that you're still working through. And if you had your way, according to the Scorpio I'm looking at, who's such a go-getter, you would have been done with that by now. Okay? But this one lingers a bit. I'm not sure why. Most likely because it's unresolved pain. Feeling uneven or one-sided in this. Maybe it was the case. It seems like you're the only one carrying the pain here, right? Keep in mind, you don't really know their side of the story, but the way you two are divided, you may never know. All right, that wasn't your choice, but that was the situation. So the fact that you don't get lost to this all day, every day is wonderful. You're not living for the Five of Cups, which is good. Do you still connect to them sometimes in your heart space? You probably wish you didn't, but it's there. You will continue to work through this. One day it will clear up. One day you'll look back on it and you'll be surprised that the idea of that person no longer hurts your heart. It's an eventuality, I promise. Oh, he's such a badass go-getter Scorpio. It's like, how could I possibly every now and again turn around and still feel that? Well, the more deeply felt a connection, the more deeply is the pain, you know? But it won't always be there. You might surprise yourself. One day you'll turn around and you'll find something else occupying your heart space altogether, and you'll be like, oh, that. I remember that. Thanks for the lesson. Gave me something to compare it to. Of course, did you love them? Of course. Where do you think all that pain comes from, honey? Is because of the absence of love or because you had the love? Okay? So I know what you felt was real. So was the love, but so too was the ending. That's also reality. Also probably distinctly why you said, I'll never wait again. Or no more waiting for this Scorpio. Waiting for it to measure up, waiting for it to feel the same, waiting for the big reveal. What's the context? What's the point? Move forward. Keep moving forward, I should say. You'll be all right. Okay. Death, there you are. King of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there you are, darling. There. Oh, God, look at that. Could you be any more Scorpio? You could be a double, triple. The kings are the fixed signs, as we should know. There's our power card. And you're like, I reinvested in myself. Thank you. I had a total eclipse of the heart. To quote the song, but really what you're saying, I had a total transformation of the heart. I'm much stronger than I used to be, this kind of thing. But he's like, I reinvested in myself quite a bit. I'm saying all your pros today. Because you loved yourself, you reinvested in yourself, you transformed your heart space. Okay. Keep on keeping on. As you know, we don't need to do any more advice. I think you're exactly where you should be. Okay? And could I interpret it the other way? We understand now the other person didn't invest in the heart the way you did. Got it. Yeah. But that wasn't the point, was it? You already know in some way that it was very uneven. That wasn't really the point. The point is total transformation. You invested in yourself, transformed your heart. Okay? There you go. Okay. New moon in Aquarius. Open up to change. Oh, how beautiful. New moon in Aquarius. Open up to that change. Last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. Yes, indeed. You've come a long way. You have accomplished a great deal on your own. That's all the self right there. You choose to be happy. You choose to be positive. You choose to make more for yourself and do more for yourself. These are all things to be proud of. Not by what hurt and ails you and how successful you're able to get over it, but that you choose to be you despite that. Maybe perhaps because of it. Who knows? But you are authentically you, so be proud of yourself. Okay? We have one letter here, O. And then that's you, darling, once more. You're just all over this today. The great white star. Yes, indeed. Pursue, pursue, pursue. Keep going. Move forward, move forward, move forward, pursue. Now, if you're on the receiving end, it can feel like you're being consumed. But from Scorpio's perspective, if I stop, I'll die. So that's the great white star. Keep moving. Keep, to quote the great Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. Yes, indeed. And then we have the Medine of Gemini in the reverse, the key word being intelligent. Some of you are super intelligent, smart cookies you are. Or you could have some very strong Gemini on your chart. Could be connected to one from the past, or the Lover's card is there. So there's that. Or at some point, perhaps in the future. Who knows? All right, Scorpio, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Pisces? Show me Pisces. All right, let's see Pisces. Okay. Nine of Wands, crossing the Five of Wands. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. The Sun crowning. Well, that's admirable. That's admirable, honey. Oh, my goodness. Goodness gracious. The Hierophant is in the past, exiting Page of Pentacles. Excuse me, something before you, Three of Pentacles. Oh, good. We got some cooperation. Well, that's nice. We got some cooperation. Okay. Strengths, King of Cups. Oh, Knights of Pentacles in your environment. Yeah, I'd imagine you'd have to have a steady hand in this. Okay. Hopes and fears, Knight of Swords. Am I doing the right thing? Outcome, Four of Pentacles. I think you're showing me watch, wait, and see. And I don't blame you after all that. I can see why your initial reaction then, as soon as you start to see some measure of cooperation, that you'll hold on to this for the time being. But do keep in mind, time being. Okay, I'd feel more comfortable seeing long-term results, and I think you would too. Nine of Wands, Five of Wands. Whoa! What a fight. What a stink. Ugh. It's equal parts standing your ground and then trying to listen to someone else at the same time. It's tough, man. That's a tough gig. You feel the need to defend yourself, to stand your ground, draw a wall up between you and someone who is still arguing a similar point, but you're like, you're trying not to participate in the argument, but you are still at the same time trying to make your side known. So not only are you fighting the good fight, you're trying to listen to someone else without getting caught up in the argument. I mean, that's a fine line to walk, but there are times when things are like this, and I understand. You ever been in that tricky situation with somebody where it's like, I have a point too, and I'm trying to listen to yours without engaging in an actual argument, but my defenses are up, your defenses are up, so let's not make anything harder than it already is. That's where you are with someone else. And it is tense. It seems like I caught you too in the thick of it, at least energetically speaking, because that's very live and that's very now. Crowning you with the Sun. Man, you just want the situation to feel a little warmer, a little happier, you know, going from negative fire to positive fire. You feel that you can make that happen with this person, so you're really trying to keep the Sun at your crown. Okay, the goal here is to be happy. The goal here is to be happy. The goal here is to be happy. Can we get on the happy train? That would be nice. That's what I would like for this situation. So I don't know who we're arguing with. It does not have to be a person of romantic interest. I have no reason to believe that. None. Except one thing, and you're showing me a commitment to this, and that's in your past. So the past, just to clarify, does not mean it's over. That just means you've experienced it in the past, which means it could be affecting you in present day. And that's exactly what I'm saying here, is that you feel a commitment to this, or that it's your obligation as the Hierophant, in other words, higher self, to stick this thing out for one reason or another. So this could be an argument that you feel obligated to see through, say with like a family member or a friend, something like that. I don't know if it's commitment as in marriage. That's up to you. Given the surrounding cards, 3D-wise, no. I don't think you two are suited to marriage at all. This is struggling to cooperate even in friendly terms. You know? But nevertheless, even if it's not marriage, we're going to go ahead and say you feel obligated towards this. You have a very strong sense of commitment or loyalty here to whatever this subject is or person or situation. And that's something that you hold with you to this day, and it's rolling over into the present. If you didn't feel, in other words, a commitment to this, I don't think you would be tolerating this level of disagreement. And I'm trying to, can you acknowledge how we're trying to work through this? And I'm trying to make this happy? Can you acknowledge that a little bit? I'm trying to hear you, but you're making it very hard for me to hear you because you're so busy yelling. I can't actually hear what you're saying. So can we tone it down a little bit? So that takes commitment. So while I'm summarizing it very quickly in what sounds like funny context, it's actually not. Imagine this stretched out over weeks or months. And the reason why is because we feel we need to. Our higher self says we can fix this. Our higher self says, I have a bigger side to me. Okay? And spiritually, I feel obligated to connect to this and try to work through it. Okay? So that's up for you to say what the relationship is. I don't know. I just see your dedication to try to fix it. Page of Pentacles on the exit. An investment didn't take place. And it might have been super small. Super simple. But it might have been some sort of tipping point or the match that lit. I don't know. But the opportunity to invest in something, a simpler solution, any sort of solution, a peace offering, came and went. I don't know. But we mad. Somebody mad. Okay. I don't know what the hell didn't take, but it didn't get took. Or it wasn't offered. Or somebody objected strongly to a very simple solution, or they said it wasn't enough. Page of Pentacles, perhaps it was too small of an offering. I don't know. But because we didn't take it or make good on it, we mad. Okay? Three of Pentacles is before you two in future. A little more cooperation. I don't know what glue you two are using to try to hold this together. It could be that you both have common interests, such as being part of a family, and it's in both of your interests to try to get along. Perhaps you two actually literally work together. You have pre-existing context in terms of time, energy, and effort spent. But that's right around the corner from this argument. So hopefully I'm beginning to see what looks like peace talks or square one energy. Three of Pentacles is starting over. Okay, let's agree to terms here. This is how I can cooperate. This is how you can cooperate. Because again, once more, I'm going to point this out. Tarot doesn't dictate action, you do. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. The Pisces I'm looking at says, I feel the need to stick to this and try to smooth it out. You might be a different Pisces. That's like, no, I'm already disengaged. There's no way. There's no way I'm going to try to I know exactly what you're talking about. And I'm not going to try to make that shit work. I'm out. I'm going to do some moon shit. I'm out. But again, the Pisces I'm looking at says, okay, here's some progress. Okay. There's Three of Pentacles. It's not much, but we'll take it. So, to your credit, you really want to find some sort of happy medium between you two. All right. And I see why, too. It's not just your spiritual sense of self. Your King of Cups is here, and your strengths. You're saying, I have a big heart, and I'm full of love for this situation, whether I like it or not. And you're like, that's why I've chosen to try to work through it. It's because I do love this, whatever it is, and I love myself, and it's worth it to me. I'm glad you're referencing yourself. It's worth it to me to try to fix this or work through it. Because again, you have to know your worth, emotionally or otherwise. For other folks, it's not worth it to try to fix this, to try to make it happy, or to find a cooperative state. For others of you, it is, because it's a good representation, you say, of who you are and what you're about. So that's where we really need to know ourselves, right? We really need to know ourselves. Something's either worth it to you to try to resolve, or it's not. End of story. So you got to know your heart space, and you got to know where you stand spiritually. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles is in your environment. Slow, steady, methodical. Okay, you're not known for moving too fast, and that's just fine with you. You like to be able to plan. You like to be able to see things a mile off. You like to be able to arrive at your own time and your own comfortable sense of pace. Cool, I understand. The Knight of Swords is in your hopes and fears. As much as you would like a faster resolve, you also fear abrupt action might make things worse. So it's just kind of reinforcing what you naturally do already, is to kind of not push things. Take it easy, okay? Don't push too hard, don't push too fast. You are afraid of abrupt action or saying the wrong thing here. Okay. You like to be you like things slow and steady. Okay? All right, so the Knight of Swords, we're going to go ahead and avoid that. And the Four of Pentacles in the outcome. I see you holding down on this where it is, because you are starting to see some very tentative, shaky, let's call it truce talks, cooperation between yourself and this person. So we're going to go ahead and clamp down for the time being until you see more, okay, until you have more to work with. But the idea is I'm holding on to this. I'm starting to see some improvement, and technically you are, okay? As I said, in things like this, in situations like this, you really have to know yourself. It's like, you've ever heard that phrase, you're not worth going to prison for. That's part of knowing yourself, okay? There's some things you can fight for and you should fight for, and there's other things you can't or shouldn't. It's all part of knowing yourself, right? So I say that in a very jovial way, but you don't want to fight with this. But you also want to stand your ground, and so on and so forth. And I think we're trying to find common ground here, smooth things over, get things back into a functioning state. Okay. Eight of Swords, the Devil, and Two of Wands. Man, that's some hardcore procrastination. Did you push somebody to do something, decide something, and it got confrontational with that person's sense of delay? Don't bother me. I don't want to think about it. And you push back on them. We need to think about it now. We need to act on this now. Don't get me wrong. There's a difference between being slow and knowing that you prefer a slower environment to doing absolutely nothing, delaying. I refuse to take responsibility or make insights or make decisions. This is a failure to do or think. Terrified to make a decision, terrified to stand next to that decision, terrified to own any sort of decision, terrified to commit to one's thoughts about a difficult subject. Procrastination to the extreme. Did you call them out on it and now they're mad at you? So you're like, okay, I started, and you have points. I'm not saying you don't. You have points. You have, and no wonder you were standing up for your points. You do have valid points. It's hard when you call somebody out on their bullshit. Look, you've been delaying this so-called decision 8 weeks, a couple of months. You keep saying you're going to do it. You don't. What's the big reveal? Come on, let's go. We can work through this. We can go slow if you want to go slow. I don't want to make rash movements either. But you know what? We can't say that time is still on our side. It's time to pony up the dough. What are we doing here? So that's some confrontation. Somebody didn't like it. Okay. All right. Now, do that because you love them or because priorities must or priorities needs. All right. So don't evoke confrontation unless you know you can stick it through. So that makes sense then why you showed me the Hierophant. Right? You called them out on it. You provoked it. And now you got to help them see it through. You're tied to this in some way. Okay. Okay. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, the Three of Wands. Okay. So, and now we have some decision making. Now we have some action. Now we have some communication. And the idea is, okay, like I said, we're going to hang back and wait to see some results. I don't think it's useless waiting. If it was useless waiting, I'd tell you. If it was useless holding on, I'd tell you. It's because you saw some results or some progress as opposed to none. So that means, like I said, you started receiving some level of cooperation. Okay. We're not going to push it further. The Pisces I'm looking at, you're in kind of a productive watch, wait, and see. Okay? Okay. Full moon in Libra, find a balance. So you're trying to find a balance. That's clear. No kidding. First quarter moon in Aries, step into your power. I see that you did. Confrontation is no easy thing. I highly recommend it so long as you understand that you can back it up. Okay, and that you mean well. If you don't mean well, then there's no point. Then you're just provoking for the sake of it, and that's no good. That's a devil issue too. If you mean well because you need to see production and you want well for the other person, then by all means. First quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. Yeah, so we're trying to speak something into being. All right, very good. Okay. We have the letter Y. We have the medallion of Taurus. You might have some very strong Taurus in your chart. Could be connected to one. I did see the Hierophant here, so FYI for some of you. And then we have the cat in reverse and upside down. Someone does not trust their intuitive process, their thought process, you name it. They're not in tune with it at all. Okay. That's no excuse for that level of delay or procrastination. When we refuse to listen to ourselves, it just brings out the worst qualities, not our best, right? Okay, Pisces, honey, I do hope this helped you. Good luck, take care, and be well. Cancer, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's up? What's going on? Let's see, Cancer, please. What is going on for Cancer? Okay. The Star. Crossing, King of Swords. Okay. crowning the Knights of Swords, Page of Pentacles in the past, exiting Ace of Cups, before you the Three of Wands. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Strengths, the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. Five of Cups is in your environment. I don't like that. Okay. King of Pentacles, hopes and fears. Okay. The Lovers is in the outcome. Ooh. Yeah, this is important to you. I see that. I get it. The Star, straight away, you said, this is important to me. Straight away. Now, the Star, many shapes and forms. It's not just love. The Star is an overarching concept, and it's not always easy to obtain. You have to reach for it and reach for it. Comparatively to the Sun, it's easy to be happy, right? The Star says, this is super important, and I wish upon the Star, but if I really want to get that Star, I have to point myself towards it. So it becomes a navigation system. In other words, not a casual thing. We have to point ourselves towards it and point ourselves towards it, and we have to make that choice over and over again. And I see you actually at the crossroads of that choice. You haven't made up your mind if you want to reach for that Star. And the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, their whole gig is determination. I've made up my mind. I have the information I need. I can use my sword when and where and how I need to. All that stuff. Very informatic, rational, logic, reasoning. So if you go for a Star, and you might have some very strong Aquarius in your chart, doesn't have to be, it's just there, FYI. Once you make up your mind about that Star and you're very close to it, you'll know what to do. Okay? The Knight of Swords is crowning you. You want results. You would like to take action. You would. Without hesitation, too. Pretty fast. There might be an idea of a closing window. Now's the time. I don't know. But until you've fully made up your mind, you won't be able to move with confidence. So I appreciate that Knight of Swords energy where it's like, man, I got to do something. I got to do something. I got to do something. But your mind has to be entirely 100% on board. Otherwise, you might reach for the Star, but then lose the energy for it. Okay? You got to know you're reaching for it. And this is showing up as something as a past experience, Page of Pentacles, that you had the opportunity to invest in it in some way. It didn't happen, or we didn't see it as a big deal at the time. I don't quite know. Page of Pentacles in the past, it's interesting. It doesn't mean it was too much. And perhaps we didn't know what it was then, because it was in the past, right? So the past doesn't mean that it's over. It just means we've had experience with this in some way. Whatever this is might have presented itself as an opportunity in the past, and perhaps we dismissed it. I don't know. Perhaps it wasn't as big a deal, quote unquote. I'm not trying to dismiss it. It's just, in the past, it represented some form of small investment. Perhaps you didn't see it that way then, or you didn't take it seriously, or you didn't know it was important to you, or you didn't have the time, energy, and effort, frankly, to spend on it. So again, it can also indicate the lack of time, energy, and effort. The page is the most realistic of all the pages. The best indication of investment starting, or the lack of time, energy, and effort we can put into it. That's what I'm actually leaning towards. Because the Star is kind of a big deal. And it needs more than a page. Perhaps you didn't have the time, energy, and effort in the past to put yourself in this. But now you're wondering if it isn't time. Eight of Cups is exiting. That's good. That's always good news in my book. Whenever we can feel that sense of emotional detachment leaving us, the numbness, we walked away from something, we weren't emotionally available, and we've recovered from that, we've come back, we're in touch with our feeling again. Okay, so that's good. Whatever that numbness is, that sense of distance between ourselves and what we feel is gone. Okay, you're much more aware, you're much more present, you're much more upfront than wherever it is you were coming from. And perhaps you weren't emotionally available. Perhaps you weren't able to give much to the past. And you had to keep yourself separate from this, from desiring the Star too much. But it's with you now, sharper than it ever was. And Three of Wands is right around the corner. Not quite sure what you're waiting on. Okay? I don't know. I don't quite know. For you to completely make up your mind on the subject, I don't know. There's this sense, it could be distance. I don't always default to that. Yes, we live the way we currently do in electronic age, where people can have full-on relationships miles and miles away. Yes, could it be distance? Sure. It's just, it feels like you're waiting. I'm not sure what you're looking for. A signal? A sign? Permission? I'm not sure. I will say this, for anyone who's tempted to hang out there and wait and see if this comes to you, I don't ever recommend that, ever, because you can be out there waiting for a long time while your sense for this is growing, right? So I'm not saying that you haven't made up your mind, or it's just you're still showing me a marker of wait, and I don't know what you're waiting on. Because you're saying it's within you to take action now, but you haven't committed to the idea. So that's why I've kind of ruled out distance. What are you looking for? Perhaps we'll see it unadvised. 10 of Pentacles is your strengths. You take pride in your sense of stability. You take pride in your sense of connectivity. You take pride in all that you're connected to. So it goes well beyond our personal sense of home and finances. It's everything we're connected to and why, and the history of it, our community, right? Our family, our friends. The way that we kind of deepen the roots of our lives is literally what we're all connected to. Okay? So you have a wealth of activity that you have carefully accumulated, that you are very active in, and it means a lot to you. It means the world to you. And you say you take strength in this, you take pride in this, everything that you've done, everything and why and connected and so on. And you've been very resourceful. And that is indeed a strength. I like that. That's a good strength to have. 5 of Cups is in your environment. There's a sense of sadness at home. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's old pain and you feel it today. I don't like that. When you're at home, when things are quiet, there's a sense of stillness, like a stillness in the night. A stillness, and a sadness, and I hate that. It feels like it doesn't have to be that way. It looks like it doesn't have to be that way. It feels like we missed something. Why does home remind you of that? Feels like we missed something. We want something in our home that should be there. I don't know. I hope you get to work through that. Because you have such a richness to you, such a quality to you. And I don't just mean rich in wealth. You might be, but that's not the point. I mean quality, in a sense of you question yourself and what you should be driven by and why and where does that come from and what does opportunity mean. And you're deeply contemplative of things that are important to you, but then I also see you delay. You have strong appreciation for everything that you've done, not to dismiss that at all. Do you want this to be part of your 10 of Pentacles? Part of your foundation? Requires work. If you've ever built one, you know that. So I hate that your home space feels like a 5 of Cups, an absence. King of Pentacles and your hopes and fears. Again, that question of practicality. Is this practical? Is this a good measure of my own sense of self-worth? Only you can determine that, whatever this is. Only you can determine if this is part of your self-worth. Only you can do that. You have to know if you're worth this level of work, if you are worth this level of thought and action and determination. Like, that's why I asked you, whatever this is that you're desiring, but you hesitate on, could it be part of your legacy? Is it part of your foundation? Is it a measure of what you're worth and a reflection of you? Don't say yes to it unless it meets those standards. Okay? Not just beyond the coin you have accumulated in your connection and resources, but is it part of you, your foundation as a person, your legacy? That's a big question. I hope it's part of my worth. I'm afraid it may not be. What if I gain this opportunity? What if I miss out on it? What if? Are you going to what if yourself to death? Well, you're not absent anymore. And you may not have had the time, energy, and effort back then. But you do now. Much stronger sense of self and investment over here. lot riding on this kind of feeling, you know? The Lovers and the outcome. Strong connection. It was with you then. It's with you now. And apparently in the future too. So maybe we do something right. Let's get some advice. Like I said, you got to know you want it, honey. When those outrageously strong connections make no sense against what's measurable, doesn't that drive you crazy? Right? Let's get that outcome. Yeah, I'm focusing on the Lovers, I'm not going to lie, but we need to be generally open to advice here. I want you to arrive to a decision that's right for you, and that way you no longer feel like you're in a position on waiting for a sign or waiting for clarity or waiting for a miracle. I think if you choose, and you choose with focus, and you know what's right for you, that will be what's correct for you. That will be the miracle. Okay? The Knight of Cups, Six of Cups, Page of Swords. Of course they think about you too. You both think about each other. You both feel each other too, in your own ways. Not all the time, not all day, every day. Okay? You're busy, they're busy. You're important, they're important. All right? Let's make that clear. Knight of Cups, it's yours too, intimate connection, thoughts and dreams and meaningful coincidences, as Jung would say. Your advice is maybe not act on what we're observing, but more on what we feel. This is the emotional expression to our soul bond. Whether or not you believe in that, that's fine, that's cool. Let's just say it's a very unique connection for which you are tied to emotionally. And of the past. Okay? Is this who we're missing in our environment? Okay. Natural, open, organic, vulnerable. King of Cups just tried to pop out. Could be connecting to fellow water. Ten of Cups, Two of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. Time has passed. Time has passed. There's nothing but love here, and it's equal. Okay? It can work in harmony in each other's lives, but time has passed. Plenty of reflection space between you and them. And Two of Cups, Ten of Cups, plenty of time to value how you two are more alike than you're different. Okay? Particularly in that emotional space. It's very harmonized, or at least it can be. Full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. This could be applicable now while we're in Scorpio season. Although I grant you the full moon in Scorpio won't be available till another 6 months. But Scorpio energy here, like I said, could be an indication of now, regardless of the moon. But breathe through the tension. Yeah. Yes, there's an answer in sight. There is. And whenever things get if you ever get those moments of being choked up and feeling tension, breathe through it. So long as you have your next breath, you can get through it. Okay? Keep your heart open. First quarter moon in Libra. Keep your heart open. Yeah? I'm sure that there's history there. The thing is, I'm not seeing it. All I see is kind of a background noise where when you get back into yourself on this subject, you realize you're not emotionally absent from it anymore. You're not numb to it anymore. And that you recognize in the past where you weren't or where you couldn't afford to be. That's all I see. I'm not finger pointing. I don't know. That's further back, and I'm not doing that read today. I'm jumping into where we are now. Okay? Okay, we have the letter X, Y, S, we have the medallion of Leo in the reverse, the keyword here being generous, not once but twice. Both Leo medallions, both with their keyword upright, generous. One or both of you has a tendency to be very, very generous. Time, energy, effort, money, love, maybe a combination of those things. You might actually both share some really interesting Leo aspects in your chart. We have the medallion of Capricorn in the upright. Again, you could have these influences in your chart. They could, or the both of you. Specialist, someone loves to cook, hobby, profession. You're cooking right now, or you associate that person possibly with cooking. And that kind of hurt a little bit. No love letters. So it's very small. No, you can't see it. It's the envelope with the heart on it. It was in the reverse. We haven't had any love letters or words of love, I should say, from this person in a long time. I remember it kind of works both ways. Is that what you were waiting for? You thought you would get something from them by now? You're waiting on that message to sign something. Okay. So like I said, if you know this is something that you would like to navigate by, because it means a lot to you, the action's available to you. The feeling is definitely available to you. The strength of the connection is available to you. We have to know that we want that. Okay? All right, Cancer honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.